This is Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome back to the channel as we get set for what we're going to hopefully get going a full game tonight. I'm feeling a lot more rested tonight than I was last night. I will tell you that much. It was a pretty good sleep finally. I know I made mention of it right off the hop in yesterday's stream. Didn't sleep well the night before, but so far so good to start things this evening. Obviously a much better day at work too, having a little bit easier of a day with us being full staffed and everybody ready to rip and roar out there on the warehouse floor. So that was good. Rico, welcome in. Jeffrey, welcome in. Dean, welcome in. Smurfy, welcome in. As everybody floods in here to begin tonight's stream. Obviously it was a huge game for the Oilers, a 3-1 final against the LA Kings, which gets us ahead of them in the standings, 3 points back of the Vegas Golden Knights as things suddenly start to take shape in the Pacific Division. I did mention in the video earlier tonight, if you caught it, that it's kind of an uphill battle for the Oilers, but if you run the table in the last four, going like some kind of crazy 9-10 game winning streak to close out the season, well, there's potential that indeed you could actually probably take home first in the West and first in the Pacific Division. It takes some help from the Vegas Golden Knights going 2-2 down their stretch. Obviously the LA Kings hopefully help us out tomorrow, and away we go from there. But Jeffrey, as you're going there, you're just saying a quick update. 3 points away from 150 is Connor McDavid. See, I haven't even been paying attention to that. We can go over to that when we go to the stats here for this evening's game. But as we get going, Darian, I mean, I will have to I'll have to find a way to get you something pretty good for that one if that's indeed what ends up happening. Obviously, if the Oilers win the cup, we're all going to be in pretty good spirits. I'll tell you that much. Sorry, I need a drink of water. I was just busy yammering away, testing a few things. I hope you can hear me a little louder than last night. I seem to have been a little bit quiet last night in terms of how I like to listen to YouTube videos, so hopefully that's figured out for you, and hopefully the audio delay and everything is good to go here, as we should be just about there. But let's go quickly recap this Edmonton Oilers squad and what actually is going on with the points, because that's something I haven't had a real chance to catch up on here since being home. Connor McDavid at 147, Leon Draisaitl at 123, so I think we could reasonably say Connor gets 150, Leon gets 125, and potentially as well tonight, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins gets point number 100. So with a going down the chart kind of flow, if Connor gets 3, Leon gets 2, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins gets, well, 1, 3-2-1 down the chart, it could be a pretty dang special night in oil country this evening against the Anaheim Ducks. And obviously if you get 6 points combined out of those guys, we should probably win tonight's hockey game, I would imagine. So there's a little bit as well to that. And secondary, Zach Hyman with 2 points tonight could secure an 82-point season, which is pretty special. Darnell Nurse in the final 2 or 4 games, 2 points away from 45. Evan Bouchard, if he goes point per game down the stretch, is 4 points away from 40. Matthias Ekholm needs 1 point to hit 30. Nick Bjugstad needs 2 points to hit 30. Evander Kane, if he can get it going, he could have a 30-point season in about 41 games. So about a 60-point season over 82 games. Warren Fogle, highly doubt it, but he's going to be a plus 25 player in terms of points. Yamamoto, if he gets one more, gets to 25. Janmark could, actually I don't think so. Klim Kostin with a goal or an assist the rest of the way home could get to 20. And that's really all you're looking for, because Devon Shore, if he plays another game, could hit 10 points. And there's not much else that we really have to pay attention to unless call-ups end up happening here at the end of the season. Recoil, once again, thank you so much for that. As we are rocking into the start of the stream, friends, we are ready to obviously, hopefully, watch the Oilers beat up on the Ducks rather handily. Last game out, we beat up on them 6-0. That was part of that crazy go. So theoretically, if we beat the Kings by a shutout, and then we beat the Ducks by a shutout, and now we beat the Kings by only allowing 1 goal, we should beat the Ducks by only allowing 1 goal and giving up in the past 12 periods of hockey a combined 2 goals. That would be fantastic. With that, though, I've cursed it, and the Oilers are about to give up a 4-goal first period and have to fight back the whole way. But you look at how this one's going to take shape for our Edmonton Oilers tonight. I think we've got a pretty good chance to do something special. Obviously, a shorter pregame today because puck drop is actually scheduled for 8:22. So buckle up, go grab your coffees, leave the stream running. Let's get everything taken care of here for the pregame this evening because we're going to have to sit tight just as we did last game. And now Patrick, oh man, yeah, no, Patrick and I going back and forth about our incredible trip up to Cold Lake. Would be absolutely fantastic to be up in Cold Lake broadcasting this one from the rink again for you. That was a ton of fun, and home game for the Oil apparently, as it looks like the Oilers fans have taken over the stands in Anaheim. Scott, well, hopefully I can take you the whole way through tonight. We're hoping, and Derek, this shouldn't be much more than a tough practice. Again, there's a lot of things I'm hoping for tonight, and a win from the Edmonton Oilers is number one on that list. Francois, you're thinking the Oilers are able to go all the way this season. We are hoping. That's kind of where we're at right now. Yeah, we're really hoping the Oilers go all the way. Obviously, if they do, it's going to be a magical run because you have to win 16 games. So, right, we could win no more games the rest of the regular season, win 16 more after that, and somehow get this done. And if my TV broadcast would flip over to cover this live, the last teams with 300-point scores, Gretzky, Curry, Messier, and of course Francis Lemieux, and I think Stevens, was in there as well. Here's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins catching up with Gene Principe pregame. So we're gonna see. I obviously can't hear Nuge, but I'll try and see if I can bump up that volume. Maybe get the play-by-play from Jack Michaels in your background ears a little bit here. But Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 6 goals, 21 points in the last 12 games played. So for the Nuge to be talking about almost being a 2-point per game player over the span of more than 10 games, that is incredible to think. And we're hoping Ryan Nugent-Hopkins can continue that pace, just get one tonight and get that 100-point marker because the Oilers and Penguins are the last 2 teams to do it. And the Oilers would be able to keep tradition right there by doing it this season. As we get going here, what do we got else? Stoney, welcome in. I think we're seeing a lot of 100 graphics in there, or emojis in there tonight because obviously it's a big game for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And Terry, you're saying Ducks or turkeys this season. Well, I mean, the Ducks have had one of those seasons that you would rather forget about. How am I watching the game? I'm watching on the Sportsnet Now package. That's something I've had since the 18-19 season. One of the best YouTube investments I ever made. Right, I get my Blue Jays games, I get my Oilers games. Obviously, Hockey Night in Canada is carried and has all the options. I don't have to just choose whatever free game they're broadcasting on, say Amazon Prime or whatever the heck. So Sportsnet Now has been a pretty fantastic add to the old arsenal here over the past 5-6 years now that I've been doing this. So we're looking forward to them carrying me through the playoffs yet again. Obviously, if you've watched enough streams, you know I'm a little bit delayed, but again, that's where you just sync up and away we go and get going. And you don't check Twitter or Facebook, and you hope Buddy doesn't text you that the Oilers have scored the overtime winner before you watch it happen. That's kind of the toughest part about it sometimes. But Brian, good evening, as we're just setting up and settling in for what's going to be a fun little stream this evening. Like I said, I'm feeling in much better shape tonight than I was last night. Last night you saw the extreme bags under my eyes. I don't think it's near as bad under my eyes tonight, so we should be able to go maybe at least through the second period. I mean, it's an 8:22 puck drop, so there is good potential we can get all the way through this evening, but I guess we'll find out. We're already in 9 minutes watched, up to over 3 hours streamed, so we're doing okay here. And 30 more than career high for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins this season. Alvin, welcome in as well, as we're getting things set up for tonight's game. I don't know if I have the lines as of yet. Let me go see if I can find that here, as I wonder if Jack Michaels has the lines for us. Let's just go see if we can find it. Find it here. Don't think there is anything there. And it looks like Jack Michaels might have changed his Twitter bio, to be honest with you. I just noticed that his Twitter bio seems a little bit different than it was before, and we're just scrolling for the Oilers lines, and we're not seeing them as of yet, as Jack Michaels had that out. And nothing here. Let's see, I guess the Jets and Flames, we need to check on that. And the only lineup note we have from Tony Brar is that Mr. Jack Campbell is our starter tonight. I think we're feeling much better about Jack Campbell starting our game tonight than maybe that last game against the Ducks, but that's the nice part here for us. You go get a shutout, you're going to give a lot of fans a lot of confidence, and that's exactly what Jack Campbell did for us tonight. And just to give you a hold on, Emmy, unfortunately I can't stream the game live on here. It is illegal for me to do so, so I will not be doing that, although I will have your play-by-play to the best of my abilities the whole way home. Just to give you an idea though, friends, this is the crazy part. The Oilers are a better road team than home team, has been the argument for a lot of the season, although now the Oilers realistically have had pretty much the same amount of games with points as they have at home as on the road. So yeah, they have 2 more wins on the road, but realistically it's kind of evened out here down the stretch. So Terry, not to counteract your point, but just to kind of give some context to that, is the Oilers, yes, have a better record, but they have stepped it up at home too, which is really fantastic to see. And for the Vegas Golden Knights, if they could lose some steam here in the last 4 games of the season, lose against LA, lose against the Stars, and lose against the Kraken at least once, that would do us a ton of favors down the stretch here in the last 4 games. So friends, if you haven't had a chance yet to leave a like on tonight's stream, I'd really appreciate that. We're up over 10 already. We're at 11 actually, but if you haven't had a chance to leave a like, I would appreciate that. And yeah, Simon, forget overall positioning. No one else surely wants to play the Oilers in the playoffs. I think the biggest thing is whoever plays us in the first round is going to have to come out flying, or if we bury them. Thing is, right, I don't think the game ones will go the same way as they did last year. I think now that the Oilers know what it takes in game 1, now that the Oilers have that kind of steadier goaltending, right, Mike Smith is a guy who needs to get engaged to get into the game, and obviously it didn't work so great in game 1s, but if he gets engaged in if Stuart Skinner gets engaged in game 1, I think there's really no problem for the Oilers in terms of getting the job done this playoffs. And obviously McDavid, Draisaitl, if they're on their games, it is what it is. I guess long story short, rambly version is the Oilers got this. That's really all I'm saying. The Oilers have this, and there is no problem. Luke, good evening to you. Daniel as well, welcome to you. And of course, here come the Snapchats coming in. People sending me the pictures of them. And yeah, that's classic. So let me get that selfie in. Yep, that's too classic. All right, friends, here we go as we're getting set for things this evening. Scott, yeah, I don't know what would, I think it's ESPN Plus in the States would be how you end up tuning into the Oilers games at all times. And Stoney, home or away, don't matter. The Oilers are rolling. That's the big thing here. There is a chance, I believe, that we have to go into the Stanley Cup playoffs on a potential 9 or 10 game win streak, if I'm not mistaken, if we win out the rest of the way home. So just to give you an idea here, we've won our last 2 games here to begin April, geez, that feels weird. And if we go down here to the last few games of March, we've actually won our last 3 there as well. So this would be game 6. So we'd have a potential to close out on a 9-game winning streak if all goes according to plan. The Winnipeg Jets trailing the Calgary Flames 3-1 midway through the second period. Chaos, I love it. That's exactly what we need. Obviously, I know it's risky to say I want the Oilers in the playoffs, the Flames in the playoffs, because the Oilers were in and the chaos that could ensue if the Flames somehow got hot and kicked the Oilers out. But again, I want the chaos of the Oilers eliminating the Flames 2 years in a row. F&D, welcome in, and we are just about getting underway here, friends. Last commercial break before we flip to Gene, Louie, and Jack, and then we will be carried home through the anthems and stuff, and suddenly we're off and running for what will be a hockey game. And Terry, yeah, it is the same time in Saskatchewan after the spring change over as it is in Alberta. And then in the winter time, if you go over to Pierceland from Cold Lake to go grab Chinese food, you end up screwing yourself up real bad. But if we can get things rocking and rolling here this evening nice and early for the Oilers, that would be premium, because I'd like to get some excitement in. Obviously, I didn't watch the Oilers score a goal last night. If I did, who knows how that stream would have ended differently. And recall, what channel do I use to get my hockey games? It is Sportsnet now. So if that question is for me. But as we're just getting underway here, friends, we are just on the Rogers 5G ad, and we should be good to go. Andrea, good evening, as we are just about ready for this one to get finally underway, right? It's another one of those West Coast games that takes an extra 20 minutes to get underway. We'll be used to that here right away, I promise you that, because it is going to be a rough go to begin these playoffs, 8 p.m. games, no matter who we're against. And the Oilers versus Ducks live from the Honda Center. And Gene Principe in the I'm So Goofy t-shirt. I don't know what the story is there. Obviously, I think something to do with Disneyland. I have been to the Honda Center before. I think it's just a rite of passage for any Albertan kid that likes the Oilers. When they go down to California to go to Disneyland, you end up going to the Oilers versus Ducks game if it's available, because parents probably planned it that way, or you just go check out a Ducks game as well. Obviously, maybe a Flames Ducks game possibly too. As we're underway, Scotty, welcome into the chat as we get things rolling this evening. 10-12 out where you are. You only got to wait another about 10 minutes, and we should be ready to rock and roll tonight. And yeah, Gene Principe going down to Disneyland and picking up some merch today. Or the guy, the grip, who had to go out and grab that. You imagine getting tasked in California as part of the Oilers broadcast crew. Yeah, I gotta get you to go down to Disneyland and pick Gene Principe up some Disneyland merch. Like, you know, Matt, that's your job. I know, and I know for a fact, being formerly in the media, that was potentially somebody's job today, which just seems nuts, but that's fun. Go out and explore Disneyland, probably pay for a ticket, go do some riding around, and pick up some merchandise while you're at. And yeah, the Honda Center is 30% Oilers fans and about 5% Ducks fans, which means it's at about 35% capacity. I would not argue that any which way there, Simon. And let's get this going. That's Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 1 point away from 100. Connor McDavid, 3 points away from 150. And Leon Draisaitl, 2 away from 125. So this could be, if the Oilers' offense explodes against the Ducks tonight, who are, by all sounds, without John Gibson, working on the backup Lucas Dostal, who gave us headaches in December. If this is what ends up happening, we're hoping to see the Oilers just light up the goaltending for the Ducks tonight and go out and get us lots. As it's a lottery, finishing at the very bottom guarantees you nothing. I've seen teams lose the lottery and end up with the best player in the draft, go buy a 649 ticket. It's the same thing. Dallas Eakins playing into the Canadian media on that one. I know there ain't no such thing as a 649 ticket in the States. There's the Powerball that they talk about down there. So yeah, that was an interesting quote there from Dallas Eakins of the Anaheim Ducks. Luke, you're from the Anaheim Ducks fans only in the you're from Anaheim. Oh, Ducks fans only care if they make the playoffs. Fair weather, to say the least. Yes, I was there in 07 when the Ducks ran the Oilers out of the building. I think it was like 7-2 or something, and the building was half empty. We had one other fan on our entire side. He was just heckling Rolison with just some of the worst obscenities you've ever heard as a child to that point. And it was really crazy to see that they ended up winning the Stanley Cup that year. Kind of one of those, what the heck happened? And over or under 7.5 goals. I'm not setting any over unders. You know, I don't hand out any betting advice. You don't want any betting advice from me, so I try to make sure I don't hand any of that out. I'm just sitting here saying, if you got a bet and you put it in the chat, there's a likely chance it cashes. That's been the trend this season. If I'm telling you anything about betting, it's just that's been some kind of good karma for everybody that's thrown it down this year. Let's go here as a face-off for on Draisaitl, resulting in a goal there on that highlight. And then this one here, short side of the net. I think that's the goal last night against the LA Kings. And yeah, we should be good to go here. I don't think there's much else to add, is there? Is there really anything else to add here prior to puck drop? Obviously, the lines aren't going to realistically change much game to game at this point, other than the fact that all of a sudden Dolynny TV's got a little bit of life again after that long weekend up in Cold Lake there. Kind of killed the channel, unfortunately, on Monday. I've been rocking and rolling since about January 1st, and it was a little leery there on Monday. I think it was the worst day of views I've had all year, so not to say, but within another 20 views on the live stream here in 22 minutes live, we could probably have a better amount of views than we did on that full Monday. So hopefully get back to regular routine, right? Got a video up today and obviously another live stream back-to-back days. So we'll see if it all transitions out today for the Oilers and obviously me as well. I know you guys will support me no matter what. So that's the nice part about this at this point. We've built a good thing here on the stream. So now the Oilers just need to do the other part of the equation, make it real easy on me, and then we can have a real fun night and crush off a really good sleep, which I maybe should sleep soundly through the night finally. A couple of nights in a row where I've been tossing and turning about 4 in the morning, but hey, you know what? It was a long week and I'm just readjusting to my own bed again. So hopefully get the different pillow going tonight and we should soundly sleep it out. So let's see what we got, Andrew. Yeah, Grand Center. Well, Grand Center formerly, never Grand Center in my time living there, unfortunately. It changed that same year I was born, so we'll see what happens. But as we got going here, we are just about where we should be, just about ready to rock and roll here. Yeah, no, I didn't have any coffee last night. What did I have? I think I was just on the water. I'm actually on the coffee tonight. I ended up grabbing myself a double espresso for this evening's game, so we'll see if that ends up affecting anything tonight. As you can see by the hat coming off, it is national anthem time. I'll be a little bit more serious about that if I'm wearing a hat prior to puck drop during the playoffs, as that's going to be the big show. We've waited all season for it to happen, and it is just about here tonight, as we are just about ready for this Oilers game to get underway. Like I said, an 8:22 puck drop. SK, welcome in, and Jeffrey, you're back from supper, so there we go. We are ready to get going. And I think the lady in LA has gotten a lot of props this season. Was it Low Tide giving her the props for the game? And why does that guy look familiar? I think I know that guy, literally the guy that they showed standing there with his wife in the stands. I'm pretty sure I know that guy. It looked really, really familiar, or else he's someone famous. I don't know, something in the middle there. But as we go, Cameron, thank you. And I've got both Z Reverse Retros, the old orange and white, and then the new one as well. That's one thing definitely that I've purchased over the years, and then picked that guy up. You all know who's on the back of that one. That's why this jersey's flipped around. We're on the American National Anthem. I'm just about not to have to scramble anymore. Obviously the Ducks wearing the orange Mighty Ducks logo from back in the day, so we like to see that as well, wearing the full bright orange uniforms. And I'm still a big fan of that Ducks orange. That is perfect. And as much as orange gets perfected in the NHL, as far as it goes, Oilers orange, Ducks orange. That's how we like it, and that's how it is. But there we go. We are just about ready for puck drop, as we should get things going here for an 8:22 puck drop between the Oilers and Kings, as we are just about ready for this one. Anthem singer is dragging out the Star Spangled Banner here quite well this evening at the Honda Center, and we are actually going to be behind schedule for puck drop, but he is belting it out at the Honda Center here. And he dragged out that second last lyric, and now belting it out and going to finish us off strong here for the national anthems this evening. And there you go. Yep, the Edmonton Oilers, the Anaheim Ducks set to do battle. Scoreboard's correct. Yes, it is. So we are good to rock and roll. They got the palm trees out there in California. And all right, let's do this, friends. The Oilers, the Ducks at the Honda Center, live on your television sets on Sportsnet and probably ESPN plus whoever, I think it's Bally Sports, covers the Anaheim Ducks games down in California. All right, Darcy, good evening, as we are ready to rock this game. Jack Campbell in net for the Edmonton Oilers. This is going to be the tough part. Can he replicate the success he had last game out against the Ducks? 348 goals against average, 886 save percentage, and obviously the win record has looked good all year, so we don't have much to fret there from Jack Campbell. Lucas Dostal, 4-8-2, 389 goals against average, somehow worse than Jack Campbell with a better save percentage. Andrea, you're saying here we go, and Scott, you don't have to shut up at all. I enjoy everybody commentating along with me. Let's go, friends. Troy Terry at center ice, looking to get things rocking on the wing against Evander Kane. We're still waiting to get this officially underway, and at 8:22 we do indeed. Puck is down, and Darnell Nurse will flip it into the Ducks zone immediately off the face-off win. Comes up and out of play, and that will be a face-off outside of the Ducks zone to begin this hockey game. 7 seconds in, the score, well, it's 0-0, so that's where it is. Oh, it was the Rangers and Lightning that pushed back our start time thanks to TNT. That's what it was going on. I wasn't sure if the Winnipeg Jets and Calgary Flames were interfering because it's also Wednesday. Maybe potentially they were, but obviously I think that would be the TNT game, probably doing a little bit more of the national rights in the States, a little more important than us up here in Canada, apparently. Klim Costa, Nick Bjugstad, Matthias Janmark on the third line. It is indeed 12-6 tonight as Warren Fogle, Devon Shore, and Derek Ryan take the fourth line shift. And the puck is directed to the front of the net. Yamamoto just missed that one there. And how about this? Right back on side is Leon Draisaitl looking to make a pass. He's going to turn over to the backhand. Far side pass to the blue line. This is a terrible angle they've got in the Honda Center for us tonight. But we'll have to make do as Darnell Nurse will backhand it down off the boards. And the tape of Evander Kane to the near side now. And back around to the far side, point for Evan Bouchard. Bouchard gets it over the shot, ripped by Kane, blocked in front, and the Anaheim Ducks will move it out of the zone and dump it in softly into the Oilers' end before Bouchard goes for the home run pass back to the Ducks blue line for Connor McDavid. It's out of his reach, nice and call against the Oilers, who have 2 shots to begin this game here right off the hop. So that's what you see. The Oilers get underway almost immediately this evening with 2 shots in the first 2 minutes, and you like to see that because obviously we went 10 and a half, 11 minutes without a shot last night to begin the first period. That is as much as I watched pretty much. The shot saved for Jack Campbell. He makes the first one of the game. He'll hold on for a cover, and we'll have an 18:41 face-off to Campbell's right yet again. So that's a big face-off win, and a shot ripped right onto Campbell by the Ducks. So that was a good little face-off play for the Ducks. And we're right to action. This one's already a little bit more fast-paced than perhaps the game against the Los Angeles Kings. The Anaheim Ducks kind of bringing the tempo a little bit here right out of the gate, and the Oilers starting hot with 2 shots as well as McDavid wins the face-off. Bouchard flips up off the glass. It hops a couple of times on the Ducks defender. He's able to settle it against Zach Hyman, and now to the near side. It's pushed back to the middle of the ice. Ducks carrying through the middle to the far side, and then to the near side. Shot ripped on. Rebound, good block in front there by Hyman, and it'll free it up for Matthias Ekholm in behind the net, who has to beat a Ducks player to get out from in behind, as he will take the skate to Nugent Hopkins to the near side boards, and skating down the left wing into the Ducks zone. Nuge goes to try and dump it back to Hyman. It's going to squirt free out of the Ducks end, and this one will be back at the Oilers blue line. Fired across there, and now work back to Brett Kulak on the soft chip into the zone by the Ducks, and back to center ice as Zach Hyman will soft chip himself into the Ducks end, where they gain possession. They're wearing their orange jerseys with the Mighty Ducks logo on the chest tonight, as they continue to try and get something started here against the Oilers. The shots are 2-2 to begin tonight's hockey game, so not a bad get for either team compared to last night's kind of 3-2 first period shot department. Whatever, it finished 4-2 or whatever it was. That was a low shot total. I'd wonder what kind of shot total that was for the Oilers historically, but this one offside right now at the Oilers offensive blue line. Now worked in by Janmark, freeing it up. He clubs a pass across and missed his own teammate far side. Now Janmark picking this one up, dumps it in. This will go all the way into the near side corner. Picked up there by the Ducks. Shattenkirk with 17:04 to go here in the first period of play. We're rolling along here to begin this first period. 3 minutes in, the Oilers and Ducks uneventful so far, right? The Ducks had one really good face-off play, and the Oilers had one really good chance to begin things, and so far that's really been all there is to this hockey game for both teams. Yeah, they have one other shot apiece, but you even think anything of substance out of those 2 shots? I don't. This one comes around to the near side in behind the Ducks net. Now fired in front to the far side. It goes back in behind and flipped out all the way along the boards, and that will be Darnell Nurse picking it up, going around to the near side now in the Oilers zone, flipping it all the way through the neutral. Tips off as somebody, goes all the way down into the Ducks zone. And this puck just more or less pinballing around the zones here for the Oilers and Ducks, as we're almost through 4 minutes of play with only 4 shots into the game for either squad combined. So this one goes to Vinny Desharnais from the far side. He'll flip it in. That's somehow onside. Draisaitl plays it right in front to Evander Kane, who just kind of bear hugs Dostal as he tried not to knock him out of position, trying to tip that puck in the blue paint, as this one's going to work back for Draisaitl. He's going to cut through the middle a couple of times, go to the backhand of Kane. Back in front, Draisaitl drifts it on a wrist shot up over top of the far side corner, and now comes back to the near side in the Ducks zone. And all of a sudden, right, 2 really good looks on net for the Oilers. Couldn't capitalize either. Another shot drifted towards the net. Nothing of substance, though, as it drifted into the corner, and the Ducks will again try to play this one out. It goes down the length of the ice to Jack Campbell, picked up by Matthias Ekholm as he'll play it around the boards. Now this one will be worked there by Nugent Hopkins over to Connor McDavid, who's going skating down for a skate. Front net play, Nuge for 100. Couldn't handle the puck at the short side, and that one will be regained by the Ducks and flipped back in to the Oilers end. That one could have been something right there if the Oilers could have just handled that one at the side of the net on the far side of the post, as Nugent Hopkins had a short side stuff opportunity. Here's McDavid loading up again. He's going to cut around, cut to the front, battles in front a couple of times, and Ekholm's going to backhand this one around the boards for McDavid to the near side now. Picked up by the Ducks, and they'll get it out of the zone, and this one will be carried by the Ducks as it just continues to pinball around zone to zone. Neither team with any real pressure here. And now how about this? Zach Hyman carrying in for the Oilers. He'll work to the backhand, be muscled off the puck, cut down there, and Cody Ceci will just see the puck left at the Ducks blue line, as the Oilers just can't seem to get anything going here, as they just continue to battle along the boards, battle in the open ice as the puck continues to bounce around. And another prime example of it here. Here's a 2-on-1 for the Ducks, but again a nice diving play, and then a puck bounces again and causes the Ducks to really lose on that play. A nice diving play there, though, I think, by either Darnell Nurse or Nick Bugstad getting across. It was somebody pretty big in front diving down for that one. So this one comes out of play on the near side. And just like that, with 13:46 to go here in this first period, we will have our first TV timeout. And that was an interesting start to this hockey game. The puck just doesn't want to settle down for either team. The Oilers a couple chip plays in front that they just couldn't cash in. And that's kind of been the story so far. And hey, don't mind me. We're rocking so far, and just to see what we get going. Scott, do I play in a beer league? I play in a beer league recreational slow pitch situation, Crossfield League out there just north of Calgary. It's been this will be year number 4 or 5 actually this year. I think this year 5, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, this year 5 that'll be going in Crossfield, and it's been nothing but fantastic. I owe everything to that league for making me a success down here in southern Alberta. I have to honestly tell you that much for sure. As we are at right now, friends, just to give you an idea, 25 hours watched on the stream, only 35 minutes in. So you pace that out, that's 50 within the first hour and 10-ish minutes. Don't mind me at all right there. And the goal will be met. So we're rocking along here, and friends, I think you're just chatting amongst yourselves. Ryu, welcome in as well. I seem to have missed you walking into the stream here, and we're just trying to get these Oilers started for another night in a row. Obviously, they haven't been terrible so far tonight, obviously, but you'd like to see them maybe cash in one of those chances in front, that Evander Kane stuff, that Leon Draisaitl quick wrist shot, or maybe that Kailer Yamamoto shot. That would be nice. And you're saying if I move over to Sportsnet 360, the game is ahead of everything. I am actually on Sportsnet 360, so hopefully that ends up getting going here. And the Riverbend Junior High School game field trip, UCLA volleyball game, UCLA tour, skateboard lessons, workout at Newport Beach, bowling, NBA game, MLB game on Saturday, and then they are here for this Edmonton Oilers game on what is it today? Wednesday? Crazy. And here we go. This one comes back the other way. Shattenkirk, the shot fought off by Jack Campbell. We're back to play here. This one is going around the boards in the Oilers zone to the near side. Cut off there by a Duck. Now still worked by the Oilers trying to get out of the zone. Kane's going to chip along the board. Shattenkirk's beat on that one, so it goes back in the neutral zone. The 50-50 jackpot at 316.5 right now, as they've got an extra 0 in there, but don't mind me. I'd take $3.165 million. I don't think that would be a bad payday at all, to be honest with you, as we are just about ready to crush this back half of this first period. And you guys are already individually playing in the Where Are You From game tonight. That's something we usually reserve for the intermission, but if you want to throw it in there, I don't mind that. We'll see if we have any friends from the other side of the world tuning in, or friends from New Zealand, Australia, I think as well. We've had Thailand and Indonesia and Malaysia over the past little bits this year, so always appreciate everybody watching from tomorrow. And last night, even Newfoundland was watching from tomorrow at puck drop. That was pretty crazy. As Warren Fogle works in, backhands it on to the starter Dostal tonight for the Ducks. That's shot number 3 of the game for the Oilers. This camera angle is giving me headaches. I can't remember who it was earlier in the season when I was doing a live stream. I was telling you I was actually getting a headache from the camera angle, just the way it was forced down on us. So that was really tough, but this one's going to be worked out back towards the Ducks blue line. That's battling there though is Cody Ceci, weaving and bobbing through a couple of Ducks defensemen, and he almost freed that puck up to try and get it going, but he couldn't force it through. So 12:15 to go here in this first period of play, and this one's going to go back into the neutral ice and all the way length of the ice for an icing call against the Ducks. So yeah, Cody Ceci putting on the moves there against the Ducks defense. Would have been nice to see him complete that, but we'll see if Cody Ceci might be feeling it tonight and end up doing something for us this evening, scoring a goal, maybe chipping in 2 assists. I wouldn't mind that at all. 5-4-0 record in the second half of back-to-backs this season for the Oilers. You'd love to see them do something here for us, as this one with 12:08 will be a face-off to the right of Dostal in the Ducks zone. Nugent Hopkins trying to battle here. And yeah, Mike, if you're on a TV, that's for sure. I'm on a live stream. That's the only problem. Again, if you guys are wondering why I'm so far behind. But here's Connor McDavid, the shot! Ooh, Dostal equal the save. That's one of those that you usually see Connor McDavid release, and it ends up going into the back of the net just like that. Lucas Dostal, though, big smile in net after he robs Connor McDavid, as that's a nice cut down by Nugent Hopkins at the point. Great pass by Bouchard, and then Connor McDavid fires it on net and just about put it home, no question. But Dostal equals with the blocker side save, and Connor McDavid 62 goals on the season. That graphic looks broken, but trust me, 62 goals is correct for Connor McDavid this season. The dream for 70, unless he somehow finds a way to score a couple hat tricks in a 2-goal game, is dead. So that is where we are at. So we'll see with Connor McDavid if he is going to get onto the board tonight, right? He needs 3 points for point number 150, and doing it with a hat trick would be the most comical way to do it, I think, against these Ducks. Obviously, if he's shooting the puck like that, very likely he ends up drawing a hat trick tonight if he can get it going, as this one's going to be Nick Bjugstad winning the drawback cleanly, but it goes all the way into the Oilers zone because of how cleanly it was. And 11:40 to go as Klim Kostin carries through the neutral. He will throw this one in as Bjugstad gets to chasing down Benoit. This one now frees up for the Oilers in the offensive zone. Janmark across to Bjugstad, can't get it going, and this one's going to go back the other way, as this will be picked up by Silverberg. Back, the shot comes, blocked in front. Ekholm blows a tire, and so far the big thing is we are 9 minutes into this game. Jack Campbell's faced 3 saves and made them all so far, as this is Matthias Janmark. Talk about weaving through traffic, one-handing his way into the Ducks zone, ducking through the same guy twice, but couldn't quite get it on to the middle of the ice for a chance for the Oilers. And again, this puck just continues to bounce just enough to cause the players problems. As I mean, it's probably 40 degrees in California or something ridiculous today, and that's probably the reason they're having some ice problems. Who knows? I'm not any kind of ice expert. That's the problem, is never having played NHL hockey or never played any stitch of competitive hockey in my life. It's kind of hard to analyze the ice as somebody who's been out on outdoor rinks that are pretty crappy sometimes here in Alberta over the course of my few years I have actually skated. So here's the Oilers still working around. I'd really do the play-by-play if there was anything substantial here to tell you. The Ducks, though, do flip it into the Oilers zone. Brett Kulak will get it to the near side, and Evander Kane will flip this one off, as here comes Leon Draisaitl out to the middle of the ice. That is offside if the Oilers drag it in. They don't, as it's cut off at the center ice line by Matthias Ekholm. And this one continues to battle around in the neutral, and now here the Ducks carry in. Bouchard beat wide, but a great play to force his man off the puck, throw him to the end boards, and then play it down. A little interference there by the Ducks, knocks the Oilers player down. Little coincidental contact, and Yamamoto had a little bit of a response back as this one comes to the near side, and the Oilers will flip it out into the neutral ice. This one bounces off the boards. It goes to Benoit over to Shattenkirk, and we will again play into the first 10 minutes of the first period being over with really nothing substantial in terms of shots on net. 4-3 for the Edmonton Oilers here, and this being the game that it needs to be for the Oilers. You'd like to see them get going here. Let's get it going here, as this one's going to flip down the ice into the Oilers zone. Matthias Ekholm backhands it off the boards, though he drops his stick. It somehow forced its way out into the neutral territory. 9:05 to go here in this first period of play, worked back by the Anaheim Ducks. We continue to just go back and forth here. Here's an opening for the Ducks to play it to the middle, but the Oilers this time cut it off, and Zach Hyman, if he can get around the defender, had a look down the ice. Couldn't do it, though. The defender kind of held him up with the stick last second. Clean play. And this one will be shot on the net, blocked in front by Darnell Nurse. Nurse will bang it off the end boards to the far side where Hyman meets it. Nurse comes up with it. Nice play there. And a little bit of a miscalculation by the Oilers. Blocked in front again. 8:32 to go. And this one goes back the other way as this will come across for the Oilers. Blocked in front by the Ducks with a stick cutting off that pass. And like I said, you're hearing the play-by-play here. There's really nothing substantial happening. An icing call there against the Ducks, though, with 8:18 to go. And I think the game started changing a little bit for the Oilers once they started getting more power play opportunities. But here's Matthias Janmark skate up the ice as he ducks around one guy there and then ducks a second guy, but couldn't get to the middle of the ice. But I'm out of water already, to give you the honest truth. And that's where we're at right now. I'm going to quickly check the old Snapchat because I've got a reply to it. And let's just send this as we're but rocking the stream now. Rocking the old stream. Obviously things are going pretty well this evening so far. I made that mistake a ton of times. Tim, this game's a dud so far. This game's not a lot of anything so far. The Oilers lead the shot department 4-3, and that's about the only thing any team actually leads so far in this game. Yeah, that's true, Jeffrey. To look at it positively, the Oilers have twice as many shots as they did all first period against the Kings last night. So I guess this game just has a little bit of different vibe. Obviously, you expected a very tight checking dump and chase game against the Kings last night. This kind of game, you expect the Oilers to put their foot on the floor, on the pedal all game, and just kind of put the Ducks to bed very early on. That hasn't quite happened yet, but it's not like the Ducks have been forcing us into that. We just haven't really gotten moving yet. And the Oilers, just the two chances early on in the game they had on net, they just didn't convert. So is what it is so far, as this one will come back into the Oilers zone. Picked ahead by Brett Kulak. Comes back over to the Ducks end, and Klim Kostin's forced to play it back up off the boards. Now over back into the Ducks zone, and like this puck's just pinballing around, just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and really nothing to be solved as the Duck opens up in the middle of the ice. Shots fired wide there and hit Campbell. I'm not sure. We'll see if they were officially credited with a shot on goal. That's my worst part about watching on TV, is the eyes get kind of heavy after not blinking too long, and that's usually when a shot on goal happens. Flipped out though by the Oilers, and you could hear it in my voice. I had something else said. And how about this? So I was talking about power plays changing the game for the Oilers. How about this? Cam Fowler taking a tripping call against Kyler Yamamoto, who was tangled a little bit with Cam Fowler and ended up moving his feet 2 more steps further and ended up scoring ourselves a power play. That's a pretty big get, but I just want to sit here and see if there's anything we can kind of trip up here in terms of watch time to give you an idea of where we're sitting after a solid start to the stream. We are at 4.7 minutes watched per view. Multiply that out, then divide. That is 40.42 hours, friends. We are absolutely crushing along this evening. Thank you again for hanging out this evening with me. I'm Tyson, this Dolynny TV. If you're new to the channel, what I want you to do is consider hitting that subscribe button here on the channel. I'd love to have you aboard for more Oilers stuff, and I think we've got potentially a minimum of 16 games until we win the Stanley Cup once the playoffs start, to be doing this whole thing. So I'd love to have you aboard for that. That is for sure. Let me just quickly throw on my hat again after we had the anthems and I took it off. So there we go. The Train AC hat. And that's one of those, I've been talking about it all day. Everybody's complimenting how sick of a hat it is. Hey, when you do some good things for some guys that treat you well, you usually get a little nice reward out of it. And my buddy Matt was great enough to bring me in a Train hat to work one day when he was in need of a little bit of assistance. We traded a little bit of favors there, and of course got the situation situated just fine. So nice little situation there, and hopefully the Oilers can get the job done. And Jeffrey, you're saying Mr. Leon Draisaitl sitting 3 goals back on the power play of tying the all-time record. Needs to go for 32 here. I think if he paces a goal per game on the power play the rest of the way home, he indeed smashes that record. So we'll see if that is the play here from Leon Draisaitl. Highest career points per game versus the Ducks. Gretzky had 1.3. Draisaitl had 1.32. Connor McDavid had 1.65. Melkins at 1.29. and Sidney Crosby's at 1.18, and somehow Wayne Gretzky played a minimum of 20 games against the Ducks. You forget how old they realistically are, those Anaheim Ducks. This one will be back to the blue line. Here's Evan Bouchard over to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Back to Bouchard over to McDavid. Loading up the one-timer. Dostal shoulders it up and gets it gone. And this one will be fired down the ice by the Anaheim Ducks all the way down to Jack Campbell in the far side corner, as this one's played ahead by Evan Bouchard, picked up there by Connor McDavid, trailing into the zone now. Everybody else as McDavid pushed it down deep. Here's Hyman pushing it back to Draisaitl. Draisaitl backhand back to Hyman. Now over to the near side of McDavid, cutting to the net. Oof. He wanted to play that one in front and just had it hop off an Anaheim skate, as now McDavid plays it to the backhand. He knew he had Draisaitl lurking, but chose to take it to the backhand to try and go on to a different kind of play. And that Connor McDavid one-timer was a thing of beauty right there. They're going to show the replay, and you're seeing he's getting quite the shots, and he almost flips it up a little bit to try and knuckle puck it by the looks of it. I don't know if that puck just came in a little knuckle pucky, but the Ducks have allowed a power play goal against in 4 consecutive games as Draisaitl ties up the face-off. They'll tell him, you're waved out. Here comes Connor McDavid, the captain of the Edmonton Oilers, still the captain of the Edmonton Oilers, and he will be next year, I guarantee it, taking the face-off and winning it back for the Oilers. Now to Leon Draisaitl. He tries to work it in front, now chopping at that puck a couple times, and Nugent-Hopkins can't settle it down, so the Ducks are able to clear it out. There's a minute left in this Edmonton Oilers power play that now has 6 shots on goal. The Oilers do, as the Ducks see the Oilers enter the zone to the far side. Draisaitl carries in. Draisaitl will go off to McDavid, wheeling and dealing around the zone. Near side to Nugent-Hopkins. Back to Connor McDavid, over to Nugent-Hopkins. One-timer shot. Draisaitl either off the post or off a Dostal. That was a near side shot as Leon just about got it done, as he'll fire another shot, looking for a redirect. Can't get it going, and this one comes back as Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will load up and come over to Connor McDavid. McDavid waiting to make the pass. He doesn't quite yet. He'll load up the Bush bomb. Bush bomb can't work. And here's McDavid playing it back down on a miscue to Leon Draisaitl. Back to the point, and Draisaitl miscues that puck. And this one will be chopped out by the Anaheim Ducks. So there you go, just like that. Unfortunately, the power play is over for the Edmonton Oilers with 0 seconds remaining. Darnell Nurse on the ice now with 4:30 to go, as this one will come to the near side. The shot right on, and that was a really good opportunity for the Edmonton Oilers there, but they couldn't do it, as this one's going to be backhanded off the side of the net for the Ducks. The Oilers have 7 shots on goal this game so far, which has been an improvement over last game's totals, and I guess maybe more so getting ready for the playoffs, where you're either going to have a huge shot total once or twice in the series. Other than that, that first period is going to be a huge feeling out period, where a guy like Evander Kane and Klim Kostin usually will be your stars. 3:46 to go here in this first period of play. The shot fired down by the Ducks all the way to Jack Campbell. Campbell goes off to the near side to Brett Kulak. Kulak will work in behind the net for the Oilers as he's looking to pass it up. He's got a far side pass that gets cut off last second by the Ducks and carried back the other way. Ducks on the attack. They're flying in. They can't get it going, but it's battled off of the Oilers' stick there briefly. The shot from the Ducks fired to the outside, and here's Darnell Nurse roughing up with one of the Ducks players in front. They're showing Beaulieu, but really nothing of importance there. Max Jones, a former target of mine and Patrick's when we were watching that Ducks and Oilers game, when we said who's coming back the other way for Yes Puljujärvi when he goes to the Ducks. Well, unfortunately, there was no player coming back because Puljujärvi never ended up going to the Ducks. And this one will be a chance now for the Oilers to take a break and enjoy a break in the action with a, of course, TV timeout. Let me again calculate that watch time for you. I got that's what I was trying to get out. Just a little hiccup in the system there. But how about that? Just like that, our next watch time update is 50 hours watched on the dot, right there on the last update I had. So thank you so much. We're already crushing that. Not even done the first period, and we should be well over 60 hours watched by the end of the first period. So I appreciate that very much, friends. I'm going to throw you an ad quickly here. Let me know if you get it. I think that's only the second one I've thrown. So if you get a chance, definitely let me know. And secondary too, if you haven't had a chance yet to hit that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV, I would appreciate you doing that. We got a long ride into the playoffs, so let's get that done and find out if we can go for a long playoff run here on the channel this season. Just to give you an update on the subscribers, we're up to 11,447. So there is a good chance we get up to that about 11,460, 11,470 mark tonight. If all of you who are just hanging around the periphery of the stream hit that subscribe button this evening, I'd really appreciate that, because that pushes us closer to that 11,500 mark, and then suddenly we get rolling. But what the Oilers need to do tonight is, of course, crushed off, and that guy looks really familiar. I want to say that guy's name is Terry or something like that. I think last name, I don't want to give out last names, but I'm pretty sure at one point I had that gentleman's phone number in my cell phone. That guy looks really familiar to a guy I know from St. Paul that they continue to show on the Oilers broadcast tonight. Shot off the side of the post there for the Ducks. Now another rebound opportunity, shot off of Jack Campbell and into the corner yet again. Here the Ducks drag to the blue line. They're going to fire the shot. Nope, it's going to be worked up there. Shot to the middle. Battled there by the Oilers out into the middle of the ice. And it again comes to the near side boards. And this one will continue to battle for the Oilers, trying to get it out of the zone. Picked up now by Evander Kane, who had the linesman in his way briefly. And in behind the net it goes, as this one's going to come to the near side boards. 2:44 to go here in this first period. Worked out of their zone by the Ducks. And the shots are 7-6 with 2.5 to go in this first period. Blocked in front. The Oilers will pick up this puck. Brian, good evening. As this one's going to be worked out into the neutral zone for the Ducks again, as we continue to see the Oilers doing what they're doing this evening. Just kind of playing feel it out process. Get towards the net a little bit. They've had a power play. They should be geared up to get things rolling in that second period of play. I know Dostal hasn't had much of a good year, but he's had a good year against the Oilers so far, so we'll see if that continues to be the trend here. But the car crash moment doesn't seem like it's coming from the Oilers at all this period. So $1:59 to go here in this first period. Jack Campbell will scoop it up on a shot directed wide, and we will have a stoppage in play. I could really use some water, but that would be tough. But Los Angeles to Anaheim, 50 kilometers between teams. Obviously between Los Angeles and Anaheim. Ottawa to Montreal is 185. Tempe to Las Vegas is 420. St. Louis to Chicago is 420. And Chicago to St. Paul, Minneapolis, is 555. That's what we know. That's the shortest distances the Oilers have traveled all season. The points percentage on the road is 8th in the NHL, which is crazy to think the Oilers have had a 24-win season on the road and still only have an 8th best record on the road in the NHL. I guess there's teams better than them, and to think we're a road team. I mean, not to keep going back to that, because I very much appreciate the comment that we have success on the road, but it's just crazy to think that we're having such a great season and there are still 4, 5, 6, 7 other NHL teams that are having a much better year than us. Now the Oilers controlling in the Ducks zone. That one's going to be fought off by 3 Ducks at the line. Bouchard can't keep. Back the other way, the Oilers have support and strength in numbers. 2 Ducks attacked. 3 Oilers were out. Jack Campbell disrupts, and that will free up Connor McDavid to start moving his feet up ice against 3 Anaheim Ducks, where Ryan Nugent-Hopkins carries ahead. He's chopped a stick out of the hands of an Anaheim Duck, and that means Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will take a slashing penalty with a $1:05 to go here in this first period of play. And so Mike Smith, I believe, is in Kelowna quite a bit this past winter, and I think too he's been working with kind of some of the Oilers. No, that's actually Duncan Keith, sorry, that I'm thinking of. I don't know what Mike Smith's been up to. He's been to the rink a couple of times this year, and obviously too I think he's just old and just doesn't physically pass any tests anymore. I think just based on kind of the Oilers' plan was to have him fail his physical and not be able to go. Obviously, the LTIR thing, it's kind of a joke at this point in the NHL, so make that what you will. 49 seconds to go here in this first period of play for the Oilers and Ducks as it comes back the other way and worked across the blue line by the Ducks, cut off there by the Oilers for a brief moment, bounced off the high boards by the Ducks into possession here on the near side. 33 seconds to go, and Jack Campbell riding so far so good. I don't want to curse him, but I'd like to see one big save here. Shoulders it up, makes that big save now to the near side boards. This one's going to be chopped down there, hopefully by Darnell Nurse, but it doesn't. So it goes to the far side boards, and Cam Fowler's looking to drift a shot on net. He continues to try and load. He will this time. Shot to the front of the net, and that's a scramble there, and Yamamoto leads out of the zone. Derek Ryan wins the battle, and there's a 2-on-1 with a few seconds remaining. Darnell Nurse in on net to the backhand. Denied by Dostal. Oh my goodness, what a chance on net last second for Darnell Nurse. And Lucas Dostal did everything he could do to keep that one out of the net, but just kept it out last second. Friends, that will be the end of one period of play here on Dolynny TV. And I want to give you a huge thank you for tuning into the live stream so far. We haven't had quite as much success as last night against the Kings. Obviously, I think there was a little missing me factor in there if I'm going to toot my own horn. But just to give you an idea, there is still quite a missing me factor tonight, as we are up over 57 hours on the stream and should be well over 60 by the time I come back down. I'll be back down in about 5 seconds time. I'm going to go upstairs, grab some water, grab an Oreo, get something in the system, and we'll get back to action here to recap this first period intermission in just a matter of time. Friends, I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV, back in a few. And there you go. That's where we're at the end of one period of play. We're in the first period intermission, my friends. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. Welcome aboard. If I haven't had a chance to welcome you in, yeah, we are sitting here waiting for this second period to get underway because the Oilers would like to get started in this, I guess you could say, second period, because we have yet to score a goal. We have not scored a goal in each of the last two first periods, so maybe the second period, like last night, will be the period that we bust out of the shell. 799 times 4.75 divided by 60. I told you by the time I come back downstairs we would be up over 60 hours. We are up over 63. So water tastes really good. That's the one part about drinking caffeine that I really don't enjoy is I get very, very thirsty, very, very dehydrated, very, very fast if I drink a lot of caffeine, and that's kind of where we're sitting right now as I am slamming back the water. But yeah, Mike, actually impressively, I knew you had the comment there about the forgetting the water upstairs. I made fun of myself last night about it, but I actually remembered it tonight, impressively enough. As the Flames, we're watching their highlights right now. As things are coming together in that race in the West as the Flames are trying their best to stay afloat. Obviously, a big win there against the Winnipeg Jets, I do believe. As they won 3-1, Jacob Markstrom, their ace, gets the job done. The Flames now tied with the Jets in points at 89. If the Jets somehow lose 2 more games and the Flames find a way to win all 3 of their last 3 games, they squeak into the playoffs just like that, friends. Also, if you haven't had a chance yet tonight to leave a like on the stream, there's about 76 of you hanging out. That said, I know, and I want to speak to those of you that tuned in to every stream, can't subscribe, can't leave a like, can't chat because you don't have a YouTube account. Hey, you know what? Again, I've made mention of it a couple of times this season, but thank you so much for regularly tuning in. Thank you so much for being along for the ride all season long. Even though I haven't been able to acknowledge you properly yet, really do thank you for being along for the ride here on Dolynny TV, and I hope you've enjoyed the show so far this year. We've got a ton of fun yet to come in the playoffs, and I imagine there are going to be some really insane numbers for me to look at here in the playoffs. I know those Boston games, we had about 400 people watching live at once there during the overtime or whatever it was. So we'd be very interested to see if that indeed kind of becomes the case here in the playoffs, as we're just trying to hover around that 100 mark throughout the entire game, every game in, game out this season. But yeah. So there we go. We are seeing the shot on net. And that's I think, Terry, that's one thing I definitely got to get off is drinking my coffee with sugar. I think I've gotten off of drinking my tea with sugar. My tea now is only a splash of milk and the tea itself. I've done very good with that. I think just to kind of wrap up some life experience that I'm coming underway with. But definitely, I still drink my coffee double for some reason. I really haven't found another way to drink it. Obviously, I drink lattes, right, which is your espresso and a ton of sugar. I've tried chopping it down, but my Starbucks barista just won't chop it down for me, no matter how much I ask, because she knows how I like it and doesn't want to screw it up, which is fair. But it's tough, right? It's tough when that's kind of the case of my coffee's always drank with sugar, so it is where it is. And Jeffrey, I don't mind you finding it late. Obviously, it's just great that everybody's kind of come aboard here this season and really made it special. I know we had a special thing going a couple years back, but to watch the Oilers winning the way they are, to watch me obviously be in the mental space that I am nowadays, definitely a big reason why things are going the way they're going. And secondary, too, to see the Oilers doing what they're doing, it makes things um, pretty easy to do. And Mark's out of 10 so far for the Oilers. I think about a 2.5 compared to last game against the Ducks, if I'm just being honest with you. 2.5. But that's the problem, right? Is I think coming into this one, we all expected them to light up the Ducks the same they did that 6-0 game. And I think now you're just kind of realizing that the Ducks know what they have to do against the Oilers, especially early on after watching the footage against the Kings game last night. And it's up to the Oilers to respond to that. If they come flying in this second period, we're going to be just fine and just dandy. And Ryan, you've been here since the beginning of this year and you do so great. Well, thank you, Ryan. I do appreciate that. And again, right, as we've got friends that are tuning in as Boston Bruins fans, Blackhawks fans, Canucks fans, Pens fans, like we've done a very special thing here this season where we've made some people care about the Oilers, and I mean, that means a lot to me as well to see people regularly, even if you don't heavily care about the Oilers, but just care to come in and have a little bit of a conversation throughout the game, just to chat with me. That makes me feel dang special, to tell you that much. So we'll see what happens here in Brain. If the Oilers offense would have struck on that Yamamoto and Kane chance on the deflection tips, or whatever you want to say, backdoor tries there in the first 5 minutes, I think we're saying something much different. But problem being, part and parcel for the Oilers, is they didn't, and then they didn't do much of substance after the fact, right? I think the most dangerous chance was the change of face by the Oilers, right? Connor McDavid walked it out of the corner right in front of the net on the power play midway through, and that's normally where he feeds the backhander over to Leon Draisaitl for the one-timer. Well, instead it was a backhand shelf opportunity near side for McDavid that Dostal stopped easily. So that's right. I mean, yeah, the Oilers had some great chances, but the regular bag of tricks wasn't there, so it is kind of tough. And Terry, thank you so much. That's another one on the board this evening. Thank you again, Terry. Really appreciate that. And yeah, no, I appreciate you guys so much. I mean, this season has made me feel bar none the most special out of any year I've done this. I think we've all got a pretty good understanding of what we're trying to achieve here this season. And Terry, thank you again for slamming that down. You're going to be on the board there for a long while tonight. So everybody, for the ads, again, if I play another ad in the second period, that just means we don't go the third period without ads. But Terry, thanks to that, right? I usually cut it if we hit $10 in one period. We go the rest of the way home in that period without an ad. So Terry, thanks to you. We'll go ad free. That's just one more thing for me not to have to worry about the rest of the way home in this second period. But Jeffrey, the Oilers have become your second favorite team. Well, I appreciate that, because you know what? That's something that obviously I think all of you know just how passionate I am about the Oilers. Whether I'm the most loyal fan by definition, that's another question, obviously, right? Is if I need to go to sleep on a Wednesday night because the game starts at 8:52, I do it, but that's simply because I know how much this kind of stuff takes out of me, and I've got the regular day job to take care of. But yeah, no, it's one of those things. I want to hear me get the most upset talking to my friends. It's about the Oilers, so that's the craziest part about it. But I'm glad to share it all with you, friends. And like I said, we got 16 games to win in the playoffs, and that's where it's really going to bleed through the best. And it is the back half of back-to-backs. F&D, that is a great point as well. And Luke, since the Hawks aren't going for the cup, you want the Oilers to go for the cup. And Peter, Caps fan, but you've been an Oilers fan since '06 too. Yeah, that's a fair way to put it. That's obviously, we all have kind of our moments of which you become a fan of another team, right? I for a long while before I became an Oilers YouTuber was a huge fan of the Leafs. Well, why? Because, well, they were making the playoffs and the Oilers weren't, and they were from Canada trying to win the cup, and we needed a Canadian team to win a cup. And then Game 7 disappointments, 4-1 loss, or 4-1 game against the whatchamacallem, the Boston Bruins, and that one was nuts. And thank you so much, Luke, to you as well. And now this is something we don't usually see on the channel here. It's been a long dang while since this last happened. 2 big board donations. Thank you again. Thanks so much for that. And Terry, I think you've kicked something off here potentially tonight. But again, I appreciate you guys. And I mean, I can't say it enough. It's been a special season. But obviously, one thing that you see, I love doing these game streams. And once I found the play-by-play combo alongside these intermission updates, I think we found absolute gold. And I can't thank you enough for tuning back in, game out. And I think really to be that play-by-play voice for some people who can't have a play-by-play voice for the Oilers, that means the world to me as well. So I really appreciate that. And of course, when you guys throw down the money, that really makes me feel even more special. That means you're putting dollars behind what you're saying, and that's I think the craziest thing that you could possibly do in terms of my thing. So I really do appreciate that. But yeah, no, it's tough, right? It's going to be a tough finish up here the rest of the way. But I was joking when I went upstairs with the roommates there. We're sitting here. It's 9:10. It's 9:10 p.m. and we are just about done the first intermission. You got to think here. Last night it was only 18 minutes since we dropped the puck. So to your point there, Jeffrey, it's pretty crazy to think what we're doing there. Daniel, I don't think I got to your comment, but if I did, welcome into the stream as well, as we're hoping to get this first goal of the game. Derek, welcome in as well, as we're crushing along tonight. And my friend Janias, I don't know if I said that last night, but welcome in as well. This seems like the last game against LA. Yeah, we're in for a little bit of a slow start. We'll see what the Oilers do. And Devils, I'm not sure I want to touch that comment. I'm not sure what that's all about, to be honest with you. It made me chuckle, though. I do appreciate it. As we are just about ready to get things underway. But yeah, no, friends, thanks to Terry and Luke. We'll go the rest of the way home here in this second period without any ads. And of course, anything further, I think we'll have to go the rest of the game without ads. But Mr. Little three-legged buddy of mine there is staring at me from the top of the stairs down here in the basement. He's looking at me. Now he's looked away because I started staring at him. I could see him staring at me out of the corner of my eye. And now all of a sudden he's working down the stairs. Here he comes. He's going to make the tough decision between food or me. We'll see which he chooses here. We're just trying to see if he's going to make, and he's going to choose food. That little hungry you-know-what just chose the food over me. What a guy. What a guy. That kitty's ridiculous, but they've got the Voltaren ads on my TV. I definitely, after being in Cold Lake this past weekend, I think I could use a little Voltaren. The old body was a little beat up. Patrick and I have been checking in with each other every few hours the past couple days, trying to figure out if we're in better shape or not. And I feel, Patrick, right? You saw me what shape I was in doing that first period against the LA Kings last night. Well, tonight I had a chance to sit down and watch Patrick's post game, and yeah, he was in just as rough a shape as I was. And Brian, thank you so much. So there we go. I'll cap it. No more ads the rest of the game. We'll go the whole way home and hopefully rock ourselves. Minus overtime. No overtime tonight. We can't afford that, but we'll rock and roll a pretty fantastic stream. Brian, thank you so much as well. So Brian, Terry, and Luke, you guys have been fantastic to me tonight, and let's bring this home the rest of the way home. 9:12 on the clock in terms of time of night, and that means, hopefully, like I said, what I'm hoping for tonight is, simply put, to stay up late enough that I crash hard enough that I wake up properly at 6:20 and call it a day. That's kind of how I get it going. I've got the first alarm at 6:20, out of bed at 6:40, on the road about 7:30, and away we go. Pretty good little formula to make everything happen. Jeffrey, you want a 6-0 win. I'd like the Oilers to just come out here and pound in about 4 goals in this second period and really celebrate what we've been having a good stream so far, as that would be dang special. But just to look at things here, again, as we'll take one last stoppage in the action before we get to this second period by the looks of it. Just to take a look here, 4.85 divided by 60. We're already up to 79 and a half hours. So we're off to what will be a pretty good start. I'm actually going to take one last second to run upstairs and refill the water one more time. And we'll get to this second period in a matter of moments, friends. Alright, let's get this thing done. As normally I have the train mug rock, and that's what I normally rock for the broadcast, but right now left this one down here last night, didn't realize it was down here, and Secondary to that, unfortunately, every other mug's in the dishwasher right now, so that's where we find ourselves after one period of play. Because really, there's no score update, so why would I bother telling you that? It's 0-0 between the Ducks and Oilers as we get started here in this second period of play. Dostal had a fantastic save against Darnell Nurse to begin this intermission, pretty much, right? Nurse wound down the clock with that breakaway opportunity to the backhand denial there by Dostal, and it was a big save for him. There once upon a time was a time when I had those Vancouver, I forget what the heck, they were a Vancouver esports team mug, and I had that for a while there. That was fantastic because it was just a big old cup of water, but unfortunately it was scary to have around the computer. We're already back to action here. The Ducks on the power play for the next 40 seconds. We're 15 seconds into the second period. Near side boards, the Ducks control back to the blue line. Puck's drifted over to the far side. Dot shot ripped on up into the glove of Jack Campbell. He'll make the save, and we'll have a stoppage in play. DJ, welcome in as the Oilers looking to get things started here on the penalty kill, and so far the first save of the period made by Jack Campbell, snares it right out of the air with the glove, and that was a pretty big save there around the big body in front. So a good start for Jack Campbell to begin this period. 0 for 9 in the last 4 games is the Ducks power play, so we'll see if that holds true here as it's cleared down the length of the ice by the Oilers. That will kill off another 5, 10, 15 seconds as the Ducks will try to get started with Shattenkirk leading out from behind his own blue. And now this one will be chopped up in the middle of the ice. Back the other way. Here comes Leon Draisaitl dragging around the defense. The shot. Ooh, the rebound just hops off his stick too. But here's Evander Kane with 5 seconds to go on the penalty. Will chip it to the middle of the ice. That will do it. The Oilers 1 for 1 on the penalty kill to begin this hockey game. So are the Ducks though. And that's kind of how it's been even so far. Flipperdo, welcome in. Jerry and Jenny, welcome in as you're going for the Leafs. Well, I mean, I'll be cheering for the Leafs over in the Eastern Conference this year because we got to get the Leafs to the Cup final. Here's the Oilers working around the Ducks zone, trying to get the attack started. Leon Draisaitl out there with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Evander Kane. Nuge just stayed out there to begin this first shift even strength. Worked back now by the Ducks. They're going to get back into the offensive zone. Shot fired across, played in front, and Cam Fowler will play this one down. They'll try and tip it around the zone, will the Ducks. The Oilers able to free it up, and Leon Draisaitl goes to the forehand to pass this one far side to Evander Kane. Ducks able to get it back out. Oilers go off for a line change. Tipped ahead here. Nugent-Hopkins cross to Connor McDavid. Batted away from him. Nuge recovers. Nuge will go across to the middle. Yamamoto can't come up with the puck. He'll now battle it over to Cody Ceci. Ceci will go. Shot fired there by Nugent-Hopkins. Denied. And this one will be cleared back into the middle of the ice for the Ducks. Nugent-Hopkins was double shift in there. And this one goes all the way into the far side corner in the Oilers zone, as that is a much livelier start to the period for the Oilers. A penalty kill right off the bat, and then a couple of good whacks around the zone, and the shot's now 11-8 here early on in the second. Here's a 2-on-1 opportunity flubbed up by Connor McDavid on the defensive pressure by the Anaheim Ducks. In behind the net, Yamamoto's still pressuring around, and he's trying to do something. Hyman's going to play it along the boards as they're just kind of rotating the top 6 players through the blending of the lines here, and even though a 12-6 format, but of course the penalty kill kind of messes with that a little bit. 17-13 to go. Hyman's battling here along the boards. He can't get it free, so now this one's going to come back. Backhanded off by the Ducks. Continues to battle there for the Oilers as it continues to wind around the Ducks zone, and they'll finally fire it down into the Oilers' end. That was the weirdest kind of dump in there by Mr. Max Jones, but he got it in. And Big Willis, welcome in as well. As here come the Oilers again, chipping a soft one on Dostal by Derek Ryan. It's denied. Back to the blue line for Vinny Desharnais. He fires the shot. And the one thing that he was so good at, the one thing that he impressed me so much with in his first 4 or 5 games was he could just get that wrist shot on net, on a stick, on target, and it resulted in goals like crazy to begin Vinny Desharnais' career. It was just kind of a perfect timing storm for the Oilers. The shot fired there blocked in front by the Oilers. Derek Ryan battling for position, falls down. Warren Fogle back the other way. He'll chip across the ice. Shot fired off the side of the net for the Oilers. That was one of those ones you thought it had gone in, but couldn't get it going. And here's Brett Kulak over to Vinny Desharnais. Desharnais will go up into the middle. This one bounces off of an Oiler in front, but it was offside for a second as the Ducks will come back the other way. This one tipped around. Little kitty, come here, my friend. Don't be meowing. Not on the live stream. And this one will go battling to the far side in the Oilers zone. Just around that face-off dot. The shot fired around to the near side on a pass to the Ducks. Down low as here comes Costin. Now played by Bukestad out of the zone. 15 and a half minutes to go in this second period. Time is moving along here in this second period of play. It's been a while since we had a whistle, it feels like, as this one's directed in front. And we'll just see how long we can go. I think the Oilers are just going to be content to play this game to a 1-0, 2-0 final against the Ducks if they can get it. I might have just cursed at my fault right there, but apologies. As Johnny welcome in as well, as this one's going to come back to the blue line. This one's coming to the far side as Draisaitl battling around the zone. He's going to skate it over to Ekholm. They're really blending up the lines here as they're just kind of rolling everybody right now on this extended shift here for everybody on the ice, just kind of rolling over the benches and doing what they're doing. We've at least gone another 2 minutes without a whistle here, it seems like. This one's back to the blue line. Draisaitl far side as the Oilers are setting up shop. Now winding around is Evander Kane to the short side. Draisaitl stuffs it, but can't get it on net, and then the Ducks try to slow him down, and they will transition back the other way. Actually, our last whistle was in the 19-minute mark of this period, so we've gone 5 minutes and 13 seconds without a whistle. I've seen so many chats come in, but I haven't had a chance to get to them. Not an offside there, so we have gone almost a solid 6 minutes without a whistle in this first period, as this one will come around the boards again. And this is just getting to be mayhem here. You don't usually have to talk this much in a row during a hockey game, but we are inside 6 minutes straight without a whistle. Pete, you're hoping the Oilers will win, and yeah, no OT. That's what we're hoping for. No OT for the Oilers tonight. Their win in regulation would be huge. Evander Kane across, and we're still without a whistle here in this first period of play, and it is just good hockey here so far. As this one goes to the far side, shot, and that will end it. The Ducks get the shot on Jack Campbell, and the save made, and that will be a huge start to this first period. The lines were all kinds of blendered up, and that was unreal. That was wild. I mean, we've kind of had it all here with the Oilers over the past 3, 4, 5 weeks since the trade deadline, but that was one of those crazy sequences you only see once or twice a season, and we ended up playing 6 minutes and 15 seconds without a whistle. Seems crazy. And Big Willis, he'll be not cheering for the Oilers if the Flames somehow manage to make the playoffs. Yeah, no, I think Calgary actually will be making the playoffs. Not to sound crazy at all, but I really do think the Flames make the playoffs. The Jets just seem like they're in a little bit of a free fall where they may indeed actually miss out. So we'll see what happens. And Nathan, the way you said that, you thought they scored. No. We're thankfully right where we're sitting, a 0-0 game right now. And we'll see what the Oilers can do to respond here. As we've rocked and rolled, and we've just hit 100 viewers live at once for the first time here on the stream this evening. Actually, no, we had 101 sometime between 8:40 and 8:50. My apologies. Counting everybody out. Magic, welcome in as well. To everybody that I've missed along the way, and all the comments we've missed along the way, let me just recap that here. Johnny, you're just saying let's go Oilers. Flipperdo and everybody just chatting each other up as everybody watches into the stream. And I think I missed something. Joe, welcome in as well. I knew I had missed one chat in there. Joe, welcome in. And that's where we're sitting. I don't think I've missed anyone else since the start. Justin, if I didn't catch you earlier, my apologies as well. but we are ready to rock and roll, friends. And this is the one ad I do run after all those super chats came in the intermission. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet on Dolynny TV, make sure to do so. I'd really appreciate that. We got 16 games in the playoffs to win the cup, plus whatever games we lose, so let's get that going. But here we go. This one comes around the boards in the Oilers zone. The Oilers will fire the shot. Oh, that's the Ducks firing the shot to the far side. Jack Campbell with the big save. We like to see Jack Campbell, a glove save in front of the net, making a big one. Zach, welcome in as we are. That's a huge save there from Jack Campbell. You see this one's just fed down low on a weird bounce over a couple of sticks by Cam Fowler, and then to the far side, Jack Campbell's able to make the glove save. It looks like it might have hit the post, but Jack Campbell is 3-0-0 with a 260 goals against average in his last 3 starts, and you got to figure here if he can make something happen the rest of the way home, that's going to lower that goals against average very huge for us. Gavin, good afternoon. Good evening to you as well, as this one's coming to the near side boards for the Oilers in the offensive zone. Zach Hyman's knocked down. Battle for it engages at the blue line, and that will be Connor McDavid taken down. No penalty upcoming as Ryan Nugent-Hopkins dumps back to Matthias Ekholm, who we really haven't seen much of tonight, but that's been the nice part. The Oilers have been able to be very quiet tonight and still lead the shot department and keep the game tied 0-0. 12:30 to go here in this second period. Right, we just had that crazy sequence where it was 6 minutes without a whistle, and right now Matthias Ekholm will flip this puck high into the zone. High zone, that is, in the Oilers zone, because he was flipping it out from behind his own net. Couldn't get it out. 12-12 to go here as Devon Shore's battling. And I'm loving to see that Devon Shore's still in the Oilers lineup. That's huge for me, because Devon Shore, obviously, the way he battled back late in the season, did some good things to help us out. So we'll see if that indeed ends up being the trend in the playoffs, that Devon Shore ends up being an impact player in a very limited role. The shot upcoming from the Ducks at the blue line, nothing happening there. Now near side again, dragged to the blue line by the Ducks. They'll fire it around the boards. Played right in front, backhand coming up, forehand coming up, tip on Campbell, kicks it out twice with the pad, and the Oilers are able to flip it out into the neutral zone. That's a big time play there from Jack Campbell and the Edmonton Oilers defense to get that puck out. This one around the board, and oh yeah, that's just it. Started itching my nose, and now it's all kinds of itchy. But Jack Campbell, another kick save in the middle of the ice, able to kick it out of the zone, and the Ducks forced to retreat. They've now got the edge in shots, so the Ducks coming a little harder here in this second period. Jack Campbell will scoop up that puck with 11:07 to go here in this second period. So we're rocking and rolling along, and friends, again, to give you a quick update of just where we're sitting, approaching that huge marker for watch time tonight. We are just about 5.1, so that would actually put us right on the tiptoe of 101 hours watched on the stream. So we've done what we thought we would do tonight, and we're not even fully halfway through the second period. So let's try and get this going here. Alvaro, welcome in as well. This one will be worked around the boards to the far side for the Oilers. Nick Bjugstad leads ahead, and the Oilers didn't realize they had a 2-on-1, so Nick Bjugstad had to shoot that puck. They'd blow it dead, though, because it came out of play, and we'll have a stoppage in play with 10:49 to go here in this second period of play. But that was an interesting opportunity for the Oilers. Matthias Janmark just had a stride ahead of himself, I guess you could say, and he had to hold up and make the play at the blue line to allow Bjugstad to walk across in motion. So 10:49 to go here in this second period. The face-off for Matthias Janmark against Mason McTavish. It'll be a face-off now pulled in by Nick Bjugstad, and they'll try and take this one along the far side boards in the Ducks zone. They do it. And Mike, don't tease me like that. Don't tease me like that. Nick Bjugstad's going to get it off the boards, though. He's going to work around and keep to the far side. He'll drag to Vinny Desharnais. Vinny Desharnais fires the shot down low. Now it goes back to the Oilers' possession as it'll be dragged there for Vinny Desharnais, who fires it up off to Costin. Kostin over to Janmark. Kostin scores! Just like that, the quick feed in front. And Klim Kostin finishes it off to put the Oilers up 1-0. And I was saying pre-game that Klim Kostin was just a point away from putting up 20 on the season for the Oilers. And just like that, he's the next Edmonton Oiler to score a goal. And he ends up putting up 20 points on the season. What a heck of a pickup for the Edmonton Oilers as Kostin puts that home. That's a big one. And that was huge for us. And actually, Terry, I love when I kind of see that goal sign go up in the comments, because that gives me a pay better attention here, because you want to have a good call on it. It's almost a little pre-warning of what I need to be doing. I do love it. As Klim Kostin scores an absolute huge goal. And here's Miss Lion coming here. You want to come cuddle a little bit? Come here, Bits. Come here, boo. Oh, you just want to meow at me? Alright. Gillis TV now joining in. Just creeping in the stream as per usual. Making sure everybody's behaving. And yes, Manath, welcome in as well, as we're seeing you in there. Seeing excited about the Oilers scoring their first goal of the game. This one's now batted around the Oilers zone by the Ducks. I'm just going to move my cat around accordingly. But Klim Kostin scoring a huge goal for us here in this second period of play. Halfway through, Klim Shady gets the job done. And Alvaro, you're tuning in from looks like Venezuela. Unfortunately, I can't translate on the fly, but Mattias Janmark also picks up assist number 15 of the season. So the Oilers getting some huge offense from their third and fourth line grinder guys. And Janmark, I mean, he's earned it to be here still next year, but obviously maybe not at a 1.25 price tag. And Jack Campbell, another big save right there on the Ducks, making a huge one to keep it 1-0. But Klim Shady scoring a big goal there, putting it home backdoor and putting us up a 1-0 lead. And yes, that's my little Zap, the old girl. She just celebrated a birthday over the weekend, actually. I forgot to shout that out on my live stream during the course of the weekend in Cold Lake, but it was her birthday over the course of the weekend, so we'll see if she ends up getting through another year without being in any trouble. She's up there in age, now into her teens. She just knocked off another year in her teens, and she continues to crush along. Great cat, great awesome cuddler, and just getting old, unfortunately. That's the sad part there. But watching and listening on Sportsnet and chatting in here, F&D, that's hey, that's all. I'm glad for that. I appreciate however you end up tuning into the streams. I appreciate that. I mean, Mike, absolutely, I appreciate the help there. And Jordan, watching this on mute, hey, you can't hear me right now, but I do appreciate that as well. Anything that you guys are willing to help contribute to the success of the stream, that means so much to me. I mean, I honestly can't do this without you, right? I can live stream, but if nobody watches, what am I live streaming for? That's kind of the question. So to have y'all watch back home, however you watch, I really do appreciate that. And again, the proof is in the pudding. 110. 110 is the watch hours so far this evening. It's 1-0 for the Oilers. We're on commercial break, by the way. Normally this is where I'd throw you an ad, but I guess the only ad that I'm able to throw the rest of the way home this game, thanks to Brian, Luke, and Terry, is this one right here, the subscribe ad. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, I'd really appreciate that. I cannot say that enough, right? I appreciate you being here, but even more so hitting that subscribe button and coming back for future live streams in the said put would be absolutely excellent. And let me go quickly check out the subscribe tab, and let's see what we got going here as we are up to 11,453. So we've already gained another 6 tonight, and 9:06 to go here in this second period. Connor McDavid gets it to the near side, and that was cut off there before it ever got there by the Ducks as they carry over across into the Oilers zone. Now the Ducks will go backhand, one-timer off of Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell making the save, and look at this. That will be a stoppage in play, so we're good there. And I'm not sure what's going on here for this USB stick and everything, but whatever. But Francois, thank you for the kind comments. And yes, my cat's celebrating the birthday. And Vin, good evening. As 8:45 to go here in this second period. Derek Ryan will work this puck down low. 8:39 remaining in this second period, and the big thing is for the Oilers, they just need to keep piling up the goals here, and they'll get to the middle of the ice. Lucas Dostal makes the save with exactly 8.5 to go here in this second period. The Oilers' depth guys, they've provided some of the best chances on net. Again, another opportunity there in front that just kind of evolves into something for the Oilers. As here comes Warren Foegele out of the pile, backhand drive to Dostal on the corner of the crease, and Warren Foegele doing his thing, trying his best to get it going. And yeah, we are rocking and rolling here. 8:30 to go in this second period. The Ducks lead the shot totals 16-15. Puck played around behind the net, and this comes now to the near side where Derek Ryan meets that puck and battled there by the Ducks. The Oilers trying to come up with it as Devon Shore battles that puck. Then Derek Ryan fires around the boards, and the Oilers continue to bat it around the Ducks zone, continuing to push through the Oilers as they continue to get to the middle of the ice. There's a shot from Devon Shore. Oh, I thought that was squeaking into the back of the net just based on how that hopped. Whew, I got a little bit nervous there as I thought that one was going to find the back of the net for Devon Shore, but it's batted all the way back into the Oilers' end, and that 50-50 has gone up by almost 70 grand over the past 25 minutes, so that's not too bad. And it's 9:36. We're going to be done this second period by about 9:50, which means we realistically aren't going to have to go that late tonight. But let's go get this. 371 90.85 is the 50-50. F&D, don't get me that excited. As I don't think Nugent Hopkins is on the boards here. But Nick Bjugstad gets the face-off going. And Klim Kostin gets the forecheck rolling. And it looks like the Oilers will get to their own zone here briefly for a moment. And this one is going to come around to the far side. Picked up there for the Oilers. Carried back the other way by Darnell Nurse. Across the blue line and fired in on Dostal. The Oilers get to work here. So this one will go around the boards. And to the near side now, Nick Bjugstad fires it around the boards for Matthias Janmark. Janmark working this one. He'll get it back to the point now, picked up by Klim Shady. And that will be worked by Janmark back to Bjugstad. Klim Shady gets the puck. He's picking it up. Shot fired in front. Nick Bjugstad the goal. And just like that, Klim Kostin, point number 20 and 21 on the season. And Nick Bjugstad picks up point number 25 or 35. I can't remember correctly at this point, but there you go. The Oilers get the shot lead right back, and they pile up a second goal, and that was a beauty of a play there for the Edmonton Oilers. They just batted it out from behind the net. Unlucky bounce for the Ducks, more or less, and Nick Bjugstad in front chips it past Lucas Dostal. And I mean, if you would have seen this Oilers team do that back in December against the Ducks right before Christmas, that would have been something special, but they couldn't do it that night. And instead, Nick Bjugstad, a perfectly placed shot, puts it through, and that gets going. So there it is for the Oilers. 2-0 for the Edmonton Oilers as Nick Bjugstad picks it up. This one will go in behind the net now, is picked up there by Evander Kane. Kane will go here as this will work around, and a chance now for Evander Kane to the near side, and Draisaitl dragging this puck. A Duck has lost his glove by the looks of it, or maybe an Oilers player lost his glove. Kind of deceptive as to how that all works. Driving to the net, Hyman, he has to skate around in behind. Hyman will go over to Vinny Desharnais. Vinny Desharnais back to the blue line. Now Leon Draisaitl across to Evander Kane, blocked in front by a chest save of Lucas Dostal, and we will have a stoppage in play with 6:33 to go here in this second period. And we are rocking and rolling. And another Alvaro joins the chat. Good evening to you as well. So we've now got two Alvaros. And here's Kaleri Yamamoto going down the tunnel a little ways. He's going to go into the door there and get a little bit of work. And Gavin, yes, as well. Getting a little bit of holding the Ducks action there. As that was a big goal for the Oilers. Jesse, You're doing the reverse jinx so as the Oilers don't choke against the Ducks. Not a bad idea, as this one's going to go off the boards here. 6:25 to go in this second period. Bjugstad's 17th goal of the season. Assist to Klim Kostin's 10th assist. That was what I thought he was going to pick up to get a point number 20 of the season, but that's point number 21. Is here's Evan Bouchard in the offensive zone. Connor McDavid across over to Matthias Ekholm. Ekholm carries in front. The shot coming from Nugent Hopkins. Back to McDavid, loading down low for Hyman. He can't get it. And this one will go now tipped off of Hyman as he fell down. Nugent Hopkins pushes through. He's trying to play this puck. Gets it free now. McDavid to the front of the net, and we are just fully on watch for Nugent Hopkins' 100th point of the year. This one to the far side, can't get it through. 5:39 now remaining in this second period. Back the other way, the Oilers almost have 20 shots on net, sitting at 19-16 the shots are. As this one battled again by the Oilers out of the zone, a glove pass. Tipped down by the Ducks first, so no glove pass whistled. Bounced off a Ducks skate all the way back into the Ducks zone. And again, this is where it just kind of piles up here for the Oilers. 5:14 to go here in the second period, and you just got to get into this locker room whistle or locker room buzzer, the intermission buzzer for a 2-0 or 3-0 game. And I'm loving this. You guys chatting amongst yourselves. Some of the friendships that I've seen form this season have been fantastic. It looks like Yamamoto took a stinger off the hand. So that's where we're finding ourselves, friends. Again, if you're just joining Dolynny TV, I'm Tyson. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for being here this evening. You see it on my face. My eyes have some pretty heavy bags going under them, but we are going the full length tonight. Not much I know we have to, but if you have a chance, definitely hit that subscribe button here on the channel before you head on out this evening at any point. And that would be greatly appreciated. That is for sure. And oh my goodness, you guys are out of control this evening in the chat. I like that we're keeping it to innuendos as best as possible. But just as we're going here, 1,400 times 5.35 divided by 60, up to 125 hours watched on the stream. I love it. That's huge. That's a big time get this evening, and I love to see that that's kind of where we're sitting at. And just to get it going as well here, I have a feeling Connor McDavid is about to turn on now that the depth have got them a couple. I can't even say a full sentence. That's my apologies. But Scotty, I think yeah, now's the time when you see Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and company wake up, and I think all it takes is them drawing a penalty, and it will be off to the races. And Pete, you're listening to the game and sleeping. You do not know how many times I have done that this season on a Saturday afternoon when I haven't streamed. So we'll see what comes of it. But Brian, yeah, it should be a 120, or sorry, not 120. That's where we're sitting at for live viewers. Should be a 200-hour stream, especially if I crush off the whole way through. I think pretty much by the end of it, we should have about 7-minute average view duration. And there's the big goal from Klim Kostin, and then they're going to show the big goal from Mr. Nick Bjugstad as well. And this is tipped in front. And there it is, and a huge play for the Oilers to put us up 2-0. That's where we sit. 5:05 to go here in this second period of play. Batted out to the point by the Oilers, cut off there by McTavish. He'll dart and dash in the wing, but can't get free from the Oilers' defense. And now the Ducks are shouting in the arena for some noise, and I don't know if that's actually Oilers fans making that noise. Seems to be the people without jerseys on that were making the hands clap in the rink here a moment ago. But Kostin tips it down into the Ducks zone. The biggest thing is, let's just make this 4:41 to the dressing room just go by rather quick. I'd like to go upstairs, grab that Oreo cookie, and make things go rather easy in that second intermission. Loading up the shot, blocked in front. Klim Kostin is down, but that was a big boy block by Klim Kostin, who pops right back up to his feet. No harm, no foul right there, so the Oilers get it done. That was a huge one, and and Stoney, I'm loving that. But we are just about ready to get to the intermission, and here's the shot from Troy Terry. That's the block from Klim Kostin right up off the ankle. I think players have a lot more tape there nowadays than they used to, but It is going to be interesting to see what happens, as this one's going to be fired off the pads of Lucas Dostal. This one pushed to the front of the net on Dostal, still scrambled in the net, and Devon Shores put on his butt, but Dostal will pick it up with the glove. With 4:09 to go, the Oilers get shot number 21 of the game, and that's where we're finding ourselves here. Jay Woodcroft and company on the bench have been crushing it off. And Luke, unfortunately, they don't sell the double stuffed Oreos at the two grocery stores here locally in my area. So unfortunately, I have to go to Airdrie for that. And I will tell you, I don't do a lot of grocery shopping in Airdrie. The stress of shopping in a place like I do here out in the rural areas is so much less than going to Airdrie, where you have to find a parking space. You have to battle people for aisle space. It is very tough. But Jesse, I appreciate that you're loving this whole thing, because it's something that I've gotten a lot of practice with this year, and obviously the Oilers have given me good reason to. They've made it easy this year, not losing a ton of games recently either. Makes it quite simple. 3:51 to go. Back the other way, the Ducks come, as they're going to bust across the line and get to the attack, dragging around behind the net. They can't get it going. Opportunity now for the Oilers to wind up and get out of their zone, as Kulak can't push it off the end boards. He does now. Back to the point, and the Oilers will just chop it out to the Ducks blue line with 3.5 minutes to go here in this second period. And that's one of the Oilers players blowing a tire in front of the zone there, and seeing what's going on here, as it's going to flip back the other way, back around the boards and back into the Oilers zone, as there's Yamamoto back on the ice after going down the tunnel for a brief moment. Here's Evander Kane looking to work on net. Ooh, that's one of those he should have dragged to the forehand and shot. He would have roofed it. He would have roofed it so tight. And you know Evander Kane will be doing that in the playoffs for us, so you don't have to worry too much. Here's Kane busting down the right wing into the Ducks zone. Draisaitl pushes it back to the point, playing it down as Ceci. We're still on Ceci watch to do something big. It would be nice to see him get that done for us. This one's played back the other way by the Ducks. 2.5 to play here in this second period, as the Oilers and Ducks engaged in what is a 2-0 hockey game, and now worked back the other way by the Ducks. Vedrano gets it deep. The one-timer comes, blocked or whiffed on in front by the Ducks, and Evander Kane will continue to play this one down into the Ducks' end with 2:20 to play here in this second period. 22-18 the shots, 2-0 the goals for the Oilers right now. And why are there so many Oilers jerseys in the background? This is an Edmonton Oilers channel, my friend. The Oilers are my bread and butter. I do it every dang day. So yes, Alvin, I've got a lot of Oilers jerseys, and I got them all in the background for you. These are actually all my Oilers jerseys you see that I own. So fun fact for you there. Offside at the Oilers blue line, $1:55 remaining here in this second period. And that's where we're sitting here. As Evander Kane loads up, he could have dragged that one to the forehand, tried to feed it through, couldn't quite get it to the backhand of Draisaitl, but good recovery from the Oilers to try and get an opportunity on net. And Spiros, who scores if the Ducks score? I'm not even going to worry about that. I'm not even going to give you any belief on the Ducks scoring, because quite honestly, I need the Oilers to do exactly what they are doing right now, and that is winning by 2 with no goals in the other column. 1:30 to go here in this second period. Ducks leading across the blue line. They're going to get the opportunity on net. The shot save made by Jack Campbell, who has saved 19 shots so far this game. We're not going to say it, but yeah, Mr. Jack Campbell doing his thing so far through 2 periods of play. And Alvin, am I an aspiring hockey commentator? Well, I am actually a contract hockey commentator. I show up for a couple of things per year and do a little bit of work, but this is my regular stuff that I do. This is pretty much the most play-by-play I do during the year as the Oilers games. Was just up in Cold Lake, Alberta, calling a provincial tournament for Hockey Alberta this weekend. U18 Female B Hockey Alberta Provincial Championships up in Cold Lake. Here's Costin trying to feed it across to Janmark. But yeah, that's pretty much my story. Have never really done play-by-play for a job, but this is as close as I'm going to get, I think, to what I want to do. So that's where we're at. And obviously getting to do play-by-play for the Oilers is a dang good time. This one's shot back down into the Ducks zone. 59 seconds to go here in this second period. And this is what I'm saying. I didn't want this period to drag on. For some reason, this second period, the last 4-ish minutes, has really dragged on down the stretch as an Oiler takes a knee. Derek Ryan just kind of gets his lower half taken right out and he pops right back up. 40 seconds to go here in this second period of play, as Desharnais plays it across the boards to Brett Kulak, flipped up into the middle of the ice, down it comes, and the Oilers will load ahead. Devon Shore gets it across the Ducks blue line. He'll drag in behind the net, plays to the front of the net, couldn't get it on, and that will allow the Ducks to get out of their own zone, escape the pressure there, and play us down with about 17 seconds to go here in this second period of play. Played across. Troy Terry fires the shot. Save made by Jack Campbell. He's not quick enough to play it. And Jack Campbell, no matter what you want to say, he's had a good 2 periods of play for the Edmonton Oilers so far. We don't mind that. And this one's worked back by the Ducks. We're going to see this highlight play as Troy Terry feeds it right through the 2 Oilers defenders. And the save made by Jack Campbell, whose eyebrows are telling me he is locked in tonight. As this one we'll see when it happens. 8.9 seconds to go in the second. The shot whiffed on by the Ducks off the face-off play. The Oilers gather it up, fire it back into the neutral ice, and this one will fire it back down in behind the Ducks net. That will do it for the period. The Oilers lead 2-0 here after the end of 2 periods. And Alvin, Peyton was doing some live streams for the Oilers as well there over the course of this season. I haven't had a chance to check many out because obviously when I haven't been streaming, I've been out and about and doing stuff. And obviously too, when I am streaming, he's streaming. So it's tough to make it happen. But if you don't know Peyton on the radio, as of yet, he has been doing some Oilers streams this season as well. I think did some last year even as well. So kind of another option out there if you haven't had a chance to check him out. But that's where we're at. But yeah, that's kind of the thing is us YouTubers, we usually come and go as time allows. And I'm just glad to be back doing this as much as close to full time as possible. As full time as part time gets, I guess you could say. Go, welcome back in. Glad to have you along again. And just as we're going here, Lauren, I missed your comment. We're at the end of 2 periods. By the way, it's 2-0 for the Oilers. As a Chicago fan, Edmonton follower as well, you'd like to see the Ducks get a point and the Oilers win. See, I don't want to go through that much stress, so I'm hoping that doesn't come to fruition, but we'll see what happens. And Christine to say, did I get a good sleep last night? Well, I did. Just problem is it was too short. And trust me, that long weekend, Thursday night, sleeping in on a Friday, it is going to be a good time. I am so excited to sleep in on Friday morning. I'm just looking so much forward to it. It's going to be just sleep and crash out. The snoring's going to be bad. I'm going to be driving my cat nuts, but it'll be all good. All right, friends, let's go just take a second to run upstairs. Of course, like I said, get that Oreo in, and we'll be right back in a matter of moments. All right, friends, here we go. That's about it. Been a good intermission start. Crushed back that Oreo. Actually found a bite-sized piece of an Oreo in the cupboard, so that was a huge get. Don't mind me, as there's a broken Oreo in the package. That always helps out on things like this. And let's see what else we got going here. Christine, when you go to Thunder Bay, probably not going to get a lot of sleep. Okay, that's fair enough. You're moving tomorrow, F&D. I don't get to. Everybody's hurting this week for sleep. You've gotten old when you're excited to have a good sleep. Yes, Magic. 4 years ago when I was doing this, if I was talking about getting a good night's sleep, you would have been kidding me. But now that I know I've beaten my body up real bad over the course of the past 5 years doing my job, I think getting a good night's sleep is one of my most favorite things in the world. Terry, you're 59 and had to watch your favorite team, Islanders, get taken out by the Oilers, but those cup games, both teams were awesome. See, here's the problem. I'd say I want to be alive for those games, but at the same rate too, I don't want to be that old yet. I'm just really glad to still be rocking and rolling in my youth, and obviously being able to enjoy the cool technology we have and stuff nowadays. And obviously too, though, I do wish I had grown up in a different time, as I feel like I'm an old soul at some days, and a lot of people do tell me that. As Connor Bedard having a heck of a game here for the Regina Pats. What's new? As it looks like that's the only highlights you're going to see of the WHL. And here's the Regina Pats in overtime. The Saskatoon Blades, though, fire the shot and win it. And 4-3 final as the Pats are tied 2-2 with the Blades in that first round series. And Peter, you're saying the East Coast Oilers fans. Yeah, my friends, if you're anywhere east of Manitoba, I'm feeling for you. The rough back-to-backs tonight and last night. I hope you got a good sleep last night. I hope you got to sleep in this morning. That would actually be really really huge if you got a good sleep. So I guess we'll see. And this year, the Oilers are going to go back to the Stanley Cup and take it north of the border. Alvin, we're hoping. If the Oilers can do that, I'm going to look like a genius after posting my yearly "The Oilers will win the Stanley Cup this year." Eventually, one of those videos will hit. I don't care how long it takes. Eventually, one of them will hit. And if it hits this year, that would be a pretty special welcome back after going missing for a year and a half here on YouTube. Obviously, I kept in touch, but went missing, wasn't quite right there for a long while, and then got myself going. And just to be honest with you, too, I'm looking back at kind of some of the pictures and stuff from that time. That's quite wild what the journey I went on there over the past year and a half, or the year and a half that I was absent from YouTube and coming back here at the very end of August last year. But glad to be back, and obviously you guys made it a very special year so far. So very grateful for that. Dwayne, welcome in from Nova Scotia. It's 1 in the morning. Oh my goodness. Rest in peace, quite literally, as I dribble all down my shirt. And another night of going to bed after 1 a.m. Yeah, Mike, I'm imagining it will be a pretty rough go here over the course of the next little bit. And let's just see what Monsieur Friend is saying here. Just saw this. No, all good, dude. Just crushing a stream now. We're crushing along. Obviously, to give you guys an update here, let me see what we end up going here. 5.8 times 1629. Oh my goodness, friends, we're up to 157 hours watched on the stream. So we are going to pace out that 200 that we've discussed between Brian and I earlier tonight. And Corb, would I be fine finishing in second place and playing LA in the first round? Yeah, I am totally good playing LA. I have no concerns about that. I know there's a lot of people that would give the edge to LA, but I think based on what you've seen the Oilers do here over the past 2 LA games, holding them to 1 goal in 6 periods of hockey, I'm pretty comfortable, right? And of course, at some point, Connor McDavid's going to Connor McDavid, and the power play will really click, so I think we'll be just fine here for sure. And Trippin, good evening to you as well. as we're seeing a lot of newer faces tuning into the streams tonight, maybe folks that I haven't mentioned before or caught in the chat before. So appreciate everybody being along for the ride. It is going to be a sleepy finish to this third period. That much we can agree on. We know that for sure. But at the same rate, too, friends, just to say, as I'm seeing some new faces tonight, if you haven't had a chance yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button, because I want to have you in here for those playoff streams, right? That's kind of what I want to make the success out of, is these playoff streams upcoming. And just to give you an idea of where we're at currently on the live stream right now, and obviously the subscriber growth and everything for Dolynny TV sitting at 11,453 still, so there's a good chance we still hit 11,460 tonight. And obviously there has already been a pretty big live stream over there on Hot Take Hockey tonight between the Jets and Flames, so we'll see what ends up coming out of it here. Brett Hall's foot in the crease was almost 5 a.m. That is crazy. Like, that's the history I don't really understand fully from back in the day. Obviously, that late 90s, early 2000s history, not the best and not the most familiar with. Obviously, I've read it in history books and stuff when I was a kid, but yeah, it's crazy when you think about these games that went into late into the night, and obviously that Tampa Bay Lightning Columbus Blue Jacket game from back in the playoff bubble, was it, that went to 5 OTs a couple years ago? That one was absolutely insane. Roger, welcome in. And Eric, the playoffs are going to be wild. Yeah, I think the playoffs are about to be set to be one of the most wild ones we could possibly come up with here in a long run, right? The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Toronto Maple Leafs going head-to-head for the second year in a row. See what happens between them. The Boston Bruins, the far and away best team in the NHL in the regular season. Are they going to be able to battle through and get the job done? And why does it feel like the camera is slowly zooming in on Bob Stauffer? I feel like Bob Stauffer is just going to come through my TV and grab me and say, shut up, at some point here and let me talk. But this is a great filmed up shot by the camera crew there on Bob Stauffer this evening. And 5-1 Oil versus Kings if playoff matchup. Well, I think the Oilers could very well run through a wall here against the LA Kings if they do indeed face them again in the playoffs. Obviously, Game 7 last year was too much. And Terry, you actually worked with Chico Resch's dad. That's crazy to think. Chico Resch, that's a name from back in the day. And yeah, I think that's what Stoney meant there. I'm not too sure what the mistype might have been, so I don't want to assume anything as of yet, as I'm just trying to pet the cat here and not touch my nose. And yeah, let's see what happens for the Oilers here the rest of the way home in this third period, because obviously we're up 2-0. The depth goal scorers got it going. Klim Kostin and Nick Bukestad, and those guys were put together on the fourth line today. So, or third line, sorry, and they've been dynamite for us getting the job done. So we'll see if it ends up holding true for us here in this third period of play. Crazy to think, right? This time last night, we were just wrapping up the first intermission and I headed to bed. Whereas this time tonight, we are headed into the third period of play. So, crazy to think what we're going to be able to do by the end of the game as it's coming together. But day 11, 4:45 a.m. wake up trip, and oh my goodness, yeah, that's gross. I mean, I struggle if I'm asked to go into work for 6:30, but again, that's kind of tough. I don't know what your driving to work situation might be, because that's always tough. Seems like the Oilers are still playing in Kings mode. That's not a bad thing as we are close to playoffs. I guess that's the thing, right? If the Oilers want to grind out the last 4 games of the season, 2-0, 3-1, 4-1, let's get it done, because I guess the thing is that we're not used to as of yet is the Oilers winning low-scoring, tight-checking, hard-fought games. And this one maybe not as much intensity because of the opponent as that LA Kings game, but the thing is, it's still a big game that matters in the standings for the Oilers, and they've done a pretty good job so far tonight getting it going. Nolan, welcome into the stream as well, and Is Stauffer squinting so much his eyes are closed? Actually, I think this is one of those angles that Stauffer's actually got his eyes open quite a bit. I know you watch the old broadcasts regularly if you do as an Oilers fan, and it's kind of tough to read his eyes, but we're pretty zoomed in today, and he's got his eyes pretty well open this evening as he's just, like I said, staring me down and possibly going to come through my TV, grab me by the shoulders, and shake some sense into me. That's kind of what it feels like. Donald, welcome in. So we're seeing everybody tune in. Jesse, the third period is going to be awesome. We're hoping this third period is going to be awesome. That would be fantastic. And Jeffrey, you're dreaming the Oilers going 16-8 in the playoffs. That would be fantastic if the Oilers could indeed end up going quite heavily through this postseason. Yeah, I mean, a sweep in one of the rounds would be fantastic. Obviously, with losing only a couple games somewhere else would be not too bad at all. But as we're going here, we'll see if the Oilers can indeed bring it home here in this third period play. We're just where we're at on a commercial break right now. And again, friends, if you haven't had a chance yet to consider hitting that subscribe button, I would love to have you hit the subscribe button here on Dolynny TV, because we are just that close to playoffs, and I'd love to have you aboard for the playoffs. You can hear it in my voice. I'm slowing down a little bit here. We're going to try and battle through. Jack Campbell's got 20 saves so far tonight. There's been 2 penalties in the game, both in the first period. And Klim Kostin from Matthias Janmark was goal number 1. And then Nick Bjugstad from Klim Kostin was goal number 2. And this is the crazy thing. That's double-digit assists for Kostin, double-digit goals, double-digit assists, 15 of them for Matthias Janmark, and his 17th goal for Nick Bjugstad. Crazy to think what the Oilers have been able to do this season with depth goal scoring. So that's pretty fantastic. I like the bug emoji for Bjugstad. And yeah, we're going to need absolutely everybody to get it going. And Jeffrey, you work your butt off outside. Yeah, no, that's my thing. That's my trick to keeping off my metabolism starting to slow down here in my mid-20s is the new home delivery service that we provide at work. We're definitely out in the elements quite a bit and hustling in and out of houses all the time. So that's what I think for keeping me in about as best of shape. I am out of shape. I get very heavily out of breath very easily, but that's just I got to do a little bit more activity other than just rely on work to keep me moving. But obviously, I think it's pretty fantastic that I get a chance to go out on the truck every day, because I always wanted one day. When I was a young kid working at the Grand Center Hotel, not that I should say working because that implies child labor, but when I was helping out mom, dad, and grandpa and grandma at the hotel, is I'd always unload the beer trucks to whatever extent I was allowed to, week in, week out. And quite simply, it was fantastic because, right, I got to meet all these great truck drivers that brought us the beer every week or brought us these goods, brought us the food, whatever they were bringing in. And you know what? Some of my best memories as a kid at the hotel was unloading the beer trucks and the food trucks and all that. And just to simply put, one thing I wanted to be very early on as a kid was a beer truck delivery driver. That was the coolest bar none job in the world to me, going to all these liquor stores, delivering all the beer, and filling up their storage facilities. And that was the thing I wanted to do. I get to be a truck driver nowadays in my mid-20s, and I get to drive sheet metal around. Not quite the same thing, but you know what? It's still pretty fantastic, pretty nifty how life comes full circle sometimes for you. So the Grand Center Hotel used to be in Cold Lake, Alberta, in Old Grand Center on the south side there, but now long torn down and just a parking lot with some recycling bins on it nowadays. But you know what? Some great memories still there. And let's get this going. Peter, I like the comment because I'm starting to trend towards that direction a little bit here. As like I said, the metabolism slows down, but we're off and running to this third period of play. Darnell Nurse to the near side. Evander Kane getting it out. Leon Draisaitl working it out, and this is going to be fired back down into the Oilers zone. A save made there by Jack Campbell. Fired around the boards and out back into the middle. 19:30 to go in this third period. Just like that, we've already bled off a 40th of the period. So hey, don't mind what I'm saying. The Oilers might have a chance here to get going and get going to the showers with a victory very quickly as Leon Draisaitl drags around in front. Can't open it up, unfortunately, and now back down Matthias Ekholm. Down low to Leon Draisaitl, back out of the zone, and it comes back down into Jack Campbell. 19:03 to go in this third period. 22-21 to go. The shots so far through this first few periods of play, as this one will go back into possession for the Ducks. They'll work it back to the blue line and cut it back into the neutral. Connor McDavid will get it back the other way, and 18:42 now remains on this one right here, as this continues to be an opportunity for the Oilers in the offensive zone, as the Ducks just can't properly clear this puck. Now maybe the third, fourth, fifth, sixth pass is the one that is able to get it out of the zone, and coming back the other way now. Played ahead by the Oilers, now worked along the boards, and Zach Hyman will work it off and play it back to the near side boards, as this one's going to be played ahead by the Ducks, worked out off a stick at the Oilers line, back onto the tape of Evan Bouchard. 18:07 to go here in this third period, and 22-21 to go the shots so far, as this one will come back the other way. And this one will come back into the Ducks zone for an icing call against Brett Kulak. So with 17:56 to go, we've already bled off 2 minutes of the period. And that's pretty fantastic, because 10% of the period's gone. And we have got a 2-0 lead still in this one. 17:56 to go. Yamamoto being credited with a pesky play in the neutral zone. That shot off the face-off blocked for the Ducks. Now work back to the blue line. Blocked again in front by Bjugstad. Stung him that time. He is feeling it in the middle. He can't seem to skate off into a non-danger zone, and he's going to finally flip it into the middle of the ice and get ourselves a change there, as Bjugstad just needs to go sit down for a minute. That one stung him. You can see when guys are stung, and that was a big-time sting for Nick Bjugstad. This one batted around the boards a little bit here for the Edmonton Oilers. This one's played ahead to Klim Kostin. He'll play it ahead off of the stick of Devon Shore. Shore goes to the far side. Matthias Janmark will play it around. And this will be one of those periods where the defensively responsible plays will be the most important for the Edmonton Oilers as we go down the stretch here inside the last 17 minutes to go. Sorry, the chat is absolutely making me chuckle tonight. You guys have been fantastic in there all night long. I love when the Oilers just coast in with a good victory and get things going. So we're going to try and rock and roll here as this one continues along. And this one's going to go back the other way, as this one will come behind the Ducks net now. 16:36 to go. Ducks pick it up. Lundstrom trying to work this one out. He can't seem to get it going, and Jordan, oof. Yeah, somebody had to. That's fine. Cody Ceci here. 16:22 to go. And anybody that knows what the score is currently for the Oilers, you know what that reaction is too. So this one's bounced off of Dostal in front. They can't get it going, and it will come back into the neutral zone. And we have now bled a fifth of the period off the clock, as the Oilers continue to just get a few shots this period and continue to just get a few opportunities to play the puck towards the net and work it around the zone a little bit here. Evander Kane on the wraparound, denied there by Dostal. The Ducks don't really look like they feel like pushing to try and get this game going, but now they're going to open it up here as Zegras plays it. He plays it off the side of the net. Oilers battle it in behind. Kane throws a hit. He separates man from puck, as this one tries to come free for Draisaitl. Instead, Kulak will pick it up, and this one will be flipped back into the neutral zone all the way on a bounce into the Ducks end and picked up there by the Ducks, flipping it into the Oilers zone. So this is where we're at. This is kind of the game here, as we are seeing what the Oilers can do, and they're just kind of playing it back and forth and trying to battle it. And Brooklyn, your boyfriend's at the game right now. That's pretty insane. You're sitting at home. That's not. Oh no. Troy Terry scores a goal. That's not good. Troy Terry scores the goal on Jack Campbell, just absolutely wires it home. Ducks found a little bit of open ice there in the Oilers zone, and Troy Terry walks in and wires it. And Jack Campbell was having a great night, as that is just a failed clearing attempt there on the backhand by Brett Kulak, and then a very nifty kick there. Who was that? That was number 13 for the Ducks. A very nifty kick to the blade, and Jack Campbell lets in goal number 1, but still a pretty big chance for the Oilers to do something here. And that's out of the zone, and that's actually the most interesting way to spell that I've seen that doesn't get tripped up by the system there. Jeffrey, good way to evade it. I like it. But, oh well. We'll be fine. The Oilers, here's the thing. The Oilers let in a goal against the Kings last night and responded very well. And as I said off the top, I wasn't counting on a shutout. I'm counting on 1 goal against tonight simply because we got back-to-back shutouts against the Kings and Ducks. And then we are now 1 goal against for the Kings and now 1 goal against for the Ducks. So trust me, have faith in that this one will finish up, as I think we saw in there, Alvin, a 4-1 score, something similar for the Edmonton Oilers against the Ducks tonight, just simply because of how it's going to work out here, as this one's going to come to the near side boards, fired back by Clem Costin. 14:03 to go here in this third period, wired across the zone. The Oilers deny the zone entry, get it going back the other way. Here it comes for Clem Costin to the backhand. He'll rim it around the boards to Janmark, comes to the far side, Ceci, back to the near side, Costin, as Janmark tries to play this one in front. Costin still trying to play this one in front. He gets it to Ceci. This one now again comes shot. Nurse fired into the glove. Save made by Dostal. And we'll have a stoppage in play. And yeah, the Ducks get a huge save. I think Vinny Desharnais just tripped up over his own 2 feet. And that's okay. We'll battle. And that's the thing too, Jordan. Yep. Stuart Skinner blew his shutout in the third period, so we're not going to worry about it too much. I think the Oilers are still in total coast-to-coast control here, and we'll see what comes out of this one for the Oilers, because obviously 1 goal against per game, I'm going to be pretty happy. That's about the best usage of that one I've seen in a while, and that's a pretty big way to give a good shout out to Fix Auto for their advertising campaign. And both goalies got shutouts for 5 periods through, though back-to-back. They did. That's the big thing, is back-to-back starts. Jack Campbell and Stuart Skinner went over 100 minutes scoreless, and at no point this season have they had that kind of stretch of dominance in net. So that's a pretty big get for us, and obviously we'll see if the Oilers and Ducks want to give us any more drama down the stretch. And Jack Campbell is going to have himself a fantastic stretch down this game. I know that for sure. And just as we have an opportunity here, obviously thanks to Luke, Brian, and Terry, we're still commercial free the rest of the way home. But we are at 192 hours watched on the stream. So we are just about to that 200 mark that we don't hit too often here on the stream, so I appreciate that. But secondary too, I want to say, just as they flip up the 50-50, I want to say, if you haven't had a chance yet to hit that subscribe button here on Dolynny TV, please do before the end of the stream tonight, because I want you in the post-game, or not in the post-game, sorry, the playoff streams, postseason streams is what I was trying to say, and we should be good to go. So let's see what we can get going here, as this one's just a really nifty bounce off the skate there for that Ducks player wearing number 13, whoever that is. So that was a very good goal from the Ducks, honestly. Way to capitalize. So that's good. And Terry was one of 5 teams he had never scored a goal against were the Oilers. So, and he's now done that, and he's down to 4 teams left in his NHL career to score a goal against. As the Oilers again turn over the puck in their own zone, they do a good job to clamp down defensively and push it to the outside with 13 minutes to go here in this third period of play. Puck played down low. Third period in behind the Oilers net, played in front again. Warren Fogle able to come up with it, and here comes Darnell Nurse across the Ducks blue line. He'll drift a shot off the pads of Dostal. It goes into the near side corner. 12:48 remains as the Oilers put up a little bit of token pressure here in the Ducks zone, as they're not really trying to turn over that puck, but they're also trying to not let it escape, if that makes sense. Just trying to work themselves around into the clock grinding down, more or less. That's kind of been what the whole aim of the second and third period have been since the Oilers went up 2-0. It's now 2-1. The Oilers up over top of the Ducks as this one's back into possession for Vinny Desharnais. He steers off of the check. He's going to see Vander Kane go across to Brett Kulak. In on the attack. The shot towards the net is denied there for Kulak now. And it goes along the boards again. And the Oilers have forward at the point. Defending here as Kulak gets it back at the point. Shot tipped down. Battles in front. But Yamamoto can't backhand it home. With 12 minutes remaining here in the third period, the Oilers will once again set up the attack up off the boards. 11:49 to go. Worked around by Draisaitl. He's still wheeling and dealing to the front of the net. The puck comes up and to play on the shot there. And that is up and to play. 11:41 to go here in this third period of play. That's what you like to see. The Oilers have done their job so far here in this third period in response to the goal against. We just like to see them get this going, as they definitely need to get it done. But McDavid has been quiet. Well, Jordan, we'll see what Connor McDavid is saving his energy for, and Donald Leary going for the Oilers, cheering him on here still, as the Oilers obviously trying to do their thing. Sutton, you just need one more shot on target for Connor McDavid. Well, let's go get that. We have a weird habit of cashing those here on Dolynny TV, so let's try and get that done, as the Ducks will work this one back the other way. Zach Hyman's going to work it down back into the Ducks zone. Hyman out there with probably Nugent Hopkins and Connor McDavid, so we'll see if that indeed comes to fruition here on this shift for you, as Troy Terry will lead across the zone for the Ducks, and they set up the attack. Working him back at the point, though, is Evan Bouchard, though the Oilers are beat. Glove save, Mr. Jack Campbell. That one's a big one. That felt good. Heck yeah. All right, friends, as well as I'm seeing Terry and crew talking about likes on the stream. If you haven't had a chance yet to leave a like on the stream, that would be much appreciated. Would love to see you leave a like here on the stream on Dolynny TV and let me know how you've been enjoying things. I know some of you have been in here a while without saying anything in the chat. Not that you have to, but a like is an easy way to give me a little bit of feedback that I can definitely use to see how a stream went overall. We're up just pacing over 200 hours watched now, and here coming back the other way is the Oilers attack into the offensive zone. Klim Kostin gets it down low to Matthias Janmark. Around the boards it goes to the far side, and this one's going to be shot back to the blue line by Kostin. He battles two guys there trying to fight this puck free. The Oilers keep it in brief second one more time, and this one will be worked back again by the Oilers at the blue line. Can't get it free there. 10:27 to go here in the third period. Shot in to the Oilers zone. 26-24. The shots on goal in favor of the Edmonton Oilers. Batted up and out of play off of the Oilers stick into the Oilers bench. And Kafka, welcome in. And we're sitting here. Fogle needs goals so I can scream McGlovin. I'm thinking everybody's going to be pretty excited if we get if another goal goes in. I will tell you that much. Flames versus Canucks, another huge game on Hockey Night in Canada for the Calgary Flames. 8 p.m. puck drop for that one. Mountain Time. So the Ducks and Oilers finish up here tonight on Wednesday. And then a huge game between the Flames and Canucks, the one that rhymes with Ducks, on Saturday. That's where I was going with that, in case you were wondering where the joke was going. As here comes Fogle back the other way alongside Darnell Nurse. Fogle has it knocked off his stick at the point. It's going to come back the other way. Turn back. The shot from Shattenkirk denied. The shot from Silverberg knocks the stick out of Campbell's hands. And then he again makes another denial with 9:44 to go. And this one will go here the other way. Now turned around by Shattenkirk as he will try and load this one up. He's loading inside his own zone now as the Ducks will work it ahead. Troy Terry across the blue line. He's denied there by the Oilers defense. Onto the stick now of Devon Shore, backhanding out there. And that's where it is right now, as this one will come back for Darnell Nurse. And back the other way. 9:14 to go, as this one continues to just be worked around the Ducks zone. 9:07 to go here in this third period as they continue to try and get out of their zone to the Ducks. Now it hops a couple of ways down into the Oilers zone. That will be an icing call with 8:58 to go here in this third period of play. And again, friends, as we're just creeping up there in terms of total views, thank you for being along here on Dolynny TV. It's been a fantastic afternoon of getting out of work and getting home and getting the stream and the videos up, and now this evening has been absolutely fantastic as well. Tiring out, tiring down, getting tired, whatever you want to say. Definitely feeling it here in the late half, but I told you we were going the full way tonight, and if I don't get to bed till 11 o'clock, that's nobody's fault but my own this evening, as this one is going to go back in behind the Ducks net. 8:48 to go. Timor, welcome in. Glad to have you along this evening. I'll read your comment in a moment. Next break in the action. Shot save. Jack Campbell drifts it wide of the net. Evander Kane on the far side boards in the Oilers zone, as the Oilers will just see this one go length of the ice for an icing call. 8:30 to go here in this third period. Come on, we just got to keep bleeding the clock. The shots are 26-26. No more drama down the board. I believe we need an empty net goal for Connor McDavid, so as he registers one more shot on net, and that's really it. That's all we need to really dilly-daddle the rest of the way home. Here's Zach Hyman out there with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Nugent-Hopkins trying to feed to the front. Bobbled that puck. He's going to now feed it off the boards to Connor McDavid, who's going to look to pass this one off. Back to the point. Matthias Ekholm, the shot blocked in front or saved by Dostal. It just kind of punched out funny, and this one comes back down the length of the ice to Matthias Ekholm, and this will be a whistle and a stop in the action on the icing call with 7:55 to go. Yeah, should be good. But yeah, let's see what we got. So let's go back to Timor's thing. Couldn't watch the game on the phone or TV, and radio wasn't working. I'm Lifesaver. Well, thank you so much for helping me out. I mean, as much as I'm helping you out, you're helping me out for sure. So I'd love to definitely get this going for you. And the Oilers haven't won the division since 1987-88, so we'll see if the Oilers can do that this year. And obviously a win tonight goes a long ways. Ducks fanning out 3 wide on the attack. They again get pushed to the in behind the net after Bouchard pushed them to the outside, forcing them around, still around the boards area in the Oilers zone, trying to get it going. And this one will continue to wrap up around the boards, back to the blue line now. Shattenkirk sees it turned over to Connor McDavid, who leads across the blue line. He's going to maybe drift a shot on net. He does! Connor McDavid hits the net with a shot on goal. And there you go. Somebody else cashes a bet here on the Dolynny TV chat. I tell you, it's just what we do here on Dolynny TV for you. 7:02. It's the weirdest service I seem to provide this season. 6:59 to go, but there it is right now. 6:55 to go here in this third period of play. Need McDavid to get one more shot. All right, hopefully a scoring chance, Jack. Well, I think if that goal on or that shot just here in the last 15 seconds counted, hopefully that one counts for you. Shot from the far side for the Ducks here, as I'm just trying to recap everything that happened on that Connor McDavid shot as Jack Campbell fights it off. He's now made 24 or 25 saves on the game. The camera work this game has been kind of shoddy. Something's wrong with the cable, but we just need one more goal here to be comfortable down the stretch, and away we are going. Yeah, that's fantastic that you got to go in there. I will tell you, for anyone that's listening to the voice and thinking, well, this guy's got quite a different voice. Well, I come from Cold Lake, Alberta. I got that thick Canadian accent that so many people make fun of, I think, especially in the big cities here in Calgary and Edmonton. I remember walking into college first semester, first speech class, and they pretty much told me that I was the most Canadian sounding guy in the class. And I'm like, what does a Canadian sounding guy sound like? And they're like, well, think Sylvester Stallone, but with Canadian mannerisms. And I'm like, excuse me, what? And then I listened back and they showed it to me, and I'm like, oh, that is actually spot on. It's the old denasal voice, and that's one of the most hilarious things to me. All right, this is where we're at. Coolid, we're not dominating like we should be. We have a break in the action. I can actually get to it. It's a 2-1 game for the Oilers. We're pretty much since we went up 2-0, trying to coast home and just wrap this one up without anyone getting hurt, without scoring too many more goals because I don't know why, and without giving up 2 goals and seeing this game tied. So that's where we're at. But we'll see what the Oilers end up doing there out and about on the ice, and I just had to throw that in there for you. You know I had to. But yeah, we're just having a good time here as well. As I think if you haven't had a chance to check out the chat tonight, it's been absolutely fantastic. I love when the Oilers are winning and winning in force because it just makes it so much easy. Everyone's in a good spirit, and obviously too, we've clinched the playoffs. There's nothing left to worry about. Do we get home ice? That's a concern, but that's about it. We should be able to do it. Um, and actually, Scotty, there is the Out for a Rip video that I did do in college too that you can check out. Yes, as we are doing this thing right now. Well, in Cali, they can check Bakersfield. Terry, I do believe if Ken Holland's on the trip, he would have headed down to Bakersfield as well at some point, or stayed in Bakersfield this upcoming weekend to check things out if the Bakersfield Coloners are on are in town. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, friends, we're just on commercial break here. One last thing before we get into this nitty gritty of this final third period of play. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button. You see how much fun we're having right now. Imagine that. Game 5, Game 6, Game 7 in the NHL playoffs. My goodness, I can think we can have a ton of fun down the stretch here. But as we get going here, Brian, I'm not the Out for a Rip guy. I'm the guy who redid Out for a Rip and somehow got like 18,000 views on the music video. So that's the fun one. But 6 minutes to go. As I think, Brian, you know I'm not the Out for a Rip guy, but it is funny that I was somehow able to manage 18,000 views on a video like that. The Ducks, right off the face-off, clear it length of the ice. That's an icing call with 5:53 to go here in this third period of play. And just one last check before we get into the very fine details of this third period. We are at a whopping 224 hours. Pretty much watched here on the stream. Draisaitl having a rough go here in this game. He's kind of lost a lot of face-offs. He's only 5 for 13 or something like that. So we'll see what happens here. As this one's going to be won back by Draisaitl in the neutral zone. He's going to get going across the blue line, and here comes Kyler Yamamoto. He wins it across the blue line and into the far corner. The shot to the front of the net. Oh, Evander Kane toes it off the heel of the stick. You hate to see that. And with 5:18 to go here in this third period, we are just about on to empty netter territory. Obviously, you get into that final 3:30. Anytime any coach feels like pulling the goalie at that point. So I'm not even making sense anymore. Well aware of that, but we're going to try and carry home here as Evander Kane tucks it down low in the Ducks zone. 4:55 to go here in this third period as we're inside the last 5 minutes to play. Oilers still playing off the battle in front. Nugent Hopkins plays it to the middle. Couldn't get it through. Ekholm the shot. Glove save Dostal. And the Oilers suddenly up to 29 shots on the game as there we are. That's where we're finding ourselves. The Oilers continue to go to work here in this third period of play, and now all of a sudden my stream has frozen or the broadcast is frozen. Not really sure what's going on as this one just kind of froze up there, and we'll try and go back in and watch live. Hopefully the internet hasn't crapped out here, but looks like we are indeed on a commercial break. Yeah, that's where we're at. But just to say, friends, again, if you haven't had a chance, I'm going to push hard for this the rest of the way home, throw up this ad as much as I possibly can. I obviously can't play any more commercials. Brian, Terry, and Luke were fantastic earlier on the stream. To make sure I can't do that, if you haven't had a chance yet, please hit that subscribe button. Really would appreciate that, but the stream appears fine to Brian. That's good. And Smurfy, welcome back in. Haven't seen you in a hot minute, but just to go quickly check if we did indeed get close to that 60 mark. Yes, we did 11,460. Yes, we like to see it as we are right there. That's huge for sure. And Scott, would I agree that Jack Edwards is an embarrassment to hockey broadcasting? Here's the thing. Jack Edwards knows exactly what he has to do to get the most out of his fan base. That's the problem. The man knows exactly what his fan base wants to hear. I mean, the Boston Bruins fan base is a whole another thing. Not saying everybody is a Jack Edwards kind of fan in the Boston Bruins fan base, nor does everybody think like Jack Edwards. I'm just saying Boston is one of those markets that it is all Boston all the time. Obviously, yeah, do they have some respect and come and check us out and check everything out? But it's just one of those things. They are all Bruins all the time. That's what matters to them. They don't really have any room in their heart for any other teams. So that's kind of, I mean, Jack Edwards has a very easy crowd to play to, and as long as he plays up the Bruins angle all the time, he gets to go. And it's kind of one of those things, right? Homers in broadcasting, they know what they're doing. They're not doing it just to be a homer kind of deal. I don't think anyway, in my opinion. This one's going to be tipped across the blue line. And I've never really gotten a chance to be a homer broadcaster in terms of my broadcasting career, so I really couldn't tell you the answer to kind of thinking like Jack Edwards either on that front. The Oilers trying to get this puck picked off the Anaheim Ducks stick. We're inside the last 4:15 here, so we're almost ready to rock into empty net goal territory here, but an icing call against the Oilers will force them back in their own zone for the time being. Yeah, it's where we're at. 4:08 to go here in this third period of play. Jack Campbell will face a couple of minutes more pressure, and then we should be rocking and rolling into a solid little situation, sitting only a point behind. Sitting behind right now. This one will go third period. Face off to the right of Jack Campbell. Mason McTavish, yeah, Mason McTavish in the face-off dot here for the Ducks. Pushed ahead by the Oilers, fighting it out of the zone. That is a good face-off battle there by the Oilers. Length of the ice clear, not nice and call. 3:55 to go in this third period of play. My friends, we're going to wrap up by about 10:45. Don't mind me, that's not too bad. And here breaking away is Matthias Janmark. Slap shot from the dot. Save made by Dostal. What a little half shot right there from Matthias Janmark on Lucas Dostal. And how about this? The Oilers are going to speed ahead back the other way again. Matthias Janmark cuts back to the far side boards, leaving it there for Nick Bjugstad. And right now you've got kind of the depth grinders assembled on the ice. Bjugstad, Janmark, and Derek Ryan. And now that will give way to the other guys jumping over the boards here. Clem Costin, Devon Shore, and trying to think of the third one, Warren Fogle on the fly. As 3:10 to go here in this third period of play. As in fact, it's actually Yamamoto, Draisaitl, and Kane on the ice. My apologies, as this one gets back to the middle of the ice and played into the near side blue line. Shot fired on net. Jack Campbell off a bounce in front makes the saves. And there you go, 2:53 to go. We'll have a face-off to his left. And there it is. Mr. Leon Draisaitl making a dangerous pass to Evander Kane, who has had several opportunities on net all game, just has not been able to fully cash them as of yet. And I would love to see McDavid get an assist, or maybe Nugent Hopkins get an assist on Evander Kane scoring an empty net goal. That would be pretty fantastic. Don't mind me there. And 7:58 and 9 all time with McDavid and Draisaitl in the lineup but not recording a point are the Oilers. So we'll see if that comes to fruition again, if the Oilers can find win number 8. It's just crazy to think when those guys are completely shut down with both of them in the lineup, it just don't matter. The Oilers don't win. Just don't win. Our winning percentage is like absolutely terrible. But here's the shot from Darnell Nurse, the glove save for Lucas Dostal, and we will make the save with 2:19 to go here in this third period of play. The Oilers just trying to grind this one out. That's the big thing, is right. We've gotten the job done so far. to get that 2-0 lead. We gave up the goal to make it 2-1. Now it's 2-1 with 2:19 to go in the third period. The Ducks are obviously going to press for the tie-breaking goal here, but at some point they're going to have to pull the goalie, and that's going to be the deal where the Oilers will kind of just make their way down the ice, score an empty net goal, and get it done. But instead, how about Mason McTavish pushing in the middle? There's Evan Bouchard. Say he's not physical enough. He just rocked Mason McTavish with a stand-up, stand-in-your-way body check. And there it is. That's all it's really going to take here for the Oilers is just play tough, play in their faces, and don't allow them zone entries as Evan Bouchard gets around the boards. 1:51 to go here in this third period of play, and now the empty net for the Anaheim Ducks played off to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Now across, Zach Hyman seals it. The Oilers do exactly what they had to do, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scores point number 100 of the season. Zach Hyman happy to get it for him, but that was a pretty pass and play from the Oilers to make sure all three forwards were involved in the play. That was a big one, and there you go, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, first career 100-point season in the NHL at age 29. Hyman comes over with a big hug, and I am glad to share this moment with you, friends. That is a big one for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, first overall pick, and you know what? Now there you go. That cements why 100 points in the NHL, and look at that, just a nifty, perfect play for the Edmonton Oilers to seal this game 3-1. I believe, yes, the Ducks could still score a goal, but Hyman scores the goal for the Oilers to make it 3-1. Connor McDavid gets point 158, and digging his own puck out of the net for him is Zach Hyman for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and there you go. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins gets it done. Shot save for Campbell. We'll have another face-off with 130 on the clock. 1 minute 30, 90 seconds, if I could speak correct. I'm just a little having a moment here, enjoying the fact that I did actually stay up to watch Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. That is, I mean, as an Oilers fan from 05-06, that's my guy. That's the guy that means the most to me. Obviously, Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and crew mean a lot, but Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, his success and his tenure as an Edmonton Oiler is just a bona fide success to the Oilers drafting somebody that was questioned as a first overall pick and panned out to be a 100-point guy in the NHL in the year 2022-2023. That means a lot, guys. I mean, every answer when anyone asks me who my favorite Oilers player is, the obvious answer is McDavid, but I always answer Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and he just hit a marker that I don't think anyone ever would have thought he would hit, but he did the job this year, and a 100-point season in the bag in Game 79 of the season. A minute to go here in Anaheim at the Honda Center, cleared down the length of the ice. Dostal will come out and play it, and this one in behind the net now for the Anaheim Ducks, carried ahead by Cam Fowler, played across over the near side boards, flipped down into Jack Campbell, who, I mean, you have to credit Campbell tonight. He had a fantastic game, another one following up, and this one will be played down. Devon Shore picks up the puck, and Nick, you've got a stat here that he is the 10th Edmonton Oiler to ever do it. So you think about the guys who have done it, 3 teammates with 100 points in the same season. The last team to do it was the 95-96 Penguins with Ron Francis getting 119, but you look at how this all wraps up. Lemieux 161, 149 for Yager. Obviously, the Oilers aren't quite there yet with that prolific offense, but we're dang close. And here's the Ducks being forced to deny themselves another opportunity. Played to the middle by, I think, somebody. Was that Klim Kostin? Now Devon Shore, rebound opportunity. I'm sorry, too much action here late in this hockey game, but this is a huge one for the Oilers. A final 5 seconds will tick down off the clock. The Ducks don't even enter the Oilers zone after they left, and that will do it. The Oilers win 3-1. They're on a 6-gamer. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scores .100, his first time ever, and obviously a big time over for his career high. And friends, I am just glad that I got to enjoy this game with you. Like I said, I was going the distance tonight, and I think Hey, for once I actually remember. I um I remember saying at the top of the broadcast, if you're just tuning in, what I said at the top of the broadcast is we shut out the Kings, then shut out the Ducks. We gave up a goal against the Kings, which means we are going to give up a goal against the Ducks, which made losing the shutout against Jack Campbell a little lesser because I knew we were giving up at least a goal tonight, and we end up giving up a goal. So now I guess maybe we're going to give up two, two, and two, and then give up like six in our final game of the season. I don't know how it's all going to play out, but Peter, you've got the um, biggest stat of the night. 1 point behind Vegas right now. And obviously now we just need Vegas to lose two more games this season in regulation and us to win two more, and it all figures itself out the rest of the way home. Friends, I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. Thank you so much for spending your Wednesday evening with me. I really appreciate it. To my friends out east who are tuning in right now, right, and you're still along with me, happy tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your sleep tonight, and we'll talk to you sometime when I get to tomorrow and I get home from work. Thank you so much for making tonight so special. Luke, Brian, Terry, again, very much so appreciated. And friends, let's cap it off with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. You done did it. Thank you so much for everything in oil country. And that's what makes this so dang special for us who have seen you go up, down, and all around in an Oilers uniform. And we look forward to seeing you do it the rest of your career. I'm Tyson, this is Dolynny TV. If you have a chance before you head out, hit that subscribe button. And friends, I will leave you on that. I am up on out of here.